could be with anyone, you're here with me. You're here with me. You could be around for
You could be with anyone, and I could be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with me.
Hey, welcome to the show. Today is a Thursday night Speak Pipe show where I listen to your voicemail messages and you guys get to leave your thoughts. Hopefully everybody's having an awesome week. Having a better time than they deserve, as I always say. Hopefully everything is going well. Can I get a 1 in the chat if you guys can see me, you can hear me, everything is clear, everything is copacetic. That way we can move forward. Ha ha ha. Thank you so much, Lizzie B. Rose, Haggard Renz. Appreciate you guys. Darlene Hall. All right, Danny Towns, Melissa. All right. We are live and in effect. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me lower my situation down a little bit. Looking kind of crazy. Look like I'm barely tall enough to drive, if you will, peeping over the steering wheel. All right. So we had some interesting phone calls. We had some things. For those who don't know, what we do typically on Thursday is on this platform, I try to I don't it's not about me. So I try to make it so that the audience can participate as much as possible, which is why, like, I'll do the Sunday night show, which is just my live first reaction to the show. Then on Tuesday, I do a call-in show. Thursday, we hear from you guys again with the Speak Pipe. Speakpipe.com is a way for you to be able to leave a 1.5-minute message or a few, and you can kind of say what you were thinking, like your reactions to either videos that I posted or situations or issues or things that I maybe have said or somebody else has said or things that have come up during the course of the Sister Wife show, especially now that we're in the thrux and throes of the tell-all episode. What I find is, and the reason why I wanted to open this up for a lot of our audience members is because we watch so much craziness on Sister Wives. It really helps to be able to vent a lot of that negative energy just out of your soul simply by talking about it, just getting it off your back, getting it off your shoulders, so that way you can go through life free, fluffy, and free. Okay, like, because this will tie you down and wear your ass out, because it's just like the simple outrage of watching people get taken advantage of. Then the even more outrageous state of watching people get taken advantage of in a severe, nasty, degradative, very degrading way. And then they turn around and they line back up so that they can do it again, like a ride at an amusement park. This ride was terrible. Oh my gosh. I was so sick when I got off. I just lost my lunch. Oh, the line is forming again. I'm going again, y'all. Like it feels like that, So this is just a way for everybody to kind of get things off their chest. Let me see. Yeah. So with all of that being said, we had some messages. The first lead up we have is actually from a longtime member. I think this is the first time she left a Speak Pipe. But I know she's called into the show before. Ladies and gentlemen, let me pull it up because, ladies and gentlemen, the Bronzed Empress.
Hi, James. Bronzed Empress here. Yes, I've watched all your videos here recently, and you're totally on point with everything you're saying. TLC knows exactly what is going on with Cody and Robin. One of the things that I noticed, they do not post them on the TLC social media as much as they do the other shows for Sister Wives to be the flagship show. If you go on the TLC YouTube channel or any of their social media, they do not post the show, the shorts, or the other content on the videos as much as they do the other shows, because it is a bloodbath in the comments when they do. It is awful. If they know exactly that the audience is sick of Cody and Robin. They have they get drugged every time they post for them, so they don't post them often. Also, TLC has here recently used a lot of YouTubers' content in a documentary they've done on the housewives of Utah. They did a documentary on one of them, and they used a lot of unauthorized content from YouTubers. So TLC is on a trip, and they need to be drugged to hell.
Drug to hell. um, well, I'm a little surprised they using YouTubers content. Well, not really, because I've always kind of speculated that they're tuning into the show, as well as I think that depending on who the creator is, I think that some of the cast members are tuning into the creators as well, because I've seen where things have been said on social media, on YouTube. I'm not going to take all the credit because that'd be ridiculous, but things have been said on my show or other shows where they use the confessionals during the regular episodes as kind of a reply or reacts, a very, very high level reaction channel, almost like they're responding to what we're saying, or they take ideas, things that have been presented, like I said, not only on my channel, but on other people's channels. And they say like, oh, like for instance, Robin with the whole, you always need your father. That was something that we were saying back in season 16 when Cody was on TV talking about, I don't need to be around the older kids. We were saying that before season 16, really, that no matter how old you get, you're going to need your parents and the influence that your parents have had. That's one of the things that I was especially saying, talk about like with my relationship with my parents and how, even though I didn't financially rely on them, like as far as emotional support or guidance with things, like just somebody who has wisdom that you can bounce all ideas off of, or things are happening in your life, you want to be able to talk to them about it because they've been around, they've seen things, they know things, nothing new under the sun, that type stuff. So you want to be able to tap into that resource, and that's the place of a parent. And for him to sit there and say, a teenager don't need their parents, that's when people need the parents the most, when you can do the most damage to yourself. Think about it. You don't, as a teenager, you don't quite have an adult mind, right? But you're in a realm where you can make serious adult decisions, right? And those decisions can not only affect like, oh, okay, yeah, he didn't do his homework. Gosh, golly gee, we're going to have to give him detention. No, I'm talking about life-altering decisions can be made in your teen years. Whether it's pregnancies, whether it's the first time, deciding whether you want to be intimate with somebody, somebody going, losing a temper and flipping out. You have the strength of a man and the strength of a man with a child's mind. And you're sitting there as a teenager and you pump full of hormones. That's the time when you really got to kind of keep an eye on them and keep, everything in check and be there for them to be able to talk things out, to try to guide them so that they can make good decisions. Now, obviously, it's not something where you're trying to teach them all at once. Like, hopefully you're not waiting until they're 16 to sit down and talk to them. But at the same time, the kids throughout the stages of their life, whether they're children, babies, kids, to teenagers, to adults, need their parents. And speaking as somebody who's lost a parent, like there's not a day that goes by, that I don't wish I could sit down and have a conversation with my mom. So when Cody said that, it triggered me a little bit. Right? And when Robin waits till season 20 or 19 to even broach the subject, you were sitting right next to the man when he said that foolishness. You should have checked his ass right then if that's what you believe. You should have checked him right then. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel about it. Because there's some things like I everybody's entitled to their opinion, but there's some things I just don't let ride. Like, you're not going to sit there and say that like, oh yeah, she's what, 16, 17? She don't need me around. She don't need to talk to her father. For what? And then it's a little late waiting for all the kids to be grown. And then all of a sudden Robin's worried about Cody not spending time with him. You know what I mean? You wait till the kids are adults, and then all of a sudden, you ain't worried about him spending time over there with them when they were children, when they were growing up and they were living technically under his roof and their mom's roof. You wasn't worried about him spending time with them then. But now that they adults and they starting their own families and shit, now all of a sudden, they need their dad. Come on, lady. Ain't nobody buying that. Ain't nobody buying that. I'm just saying. So I agree with what Brian Zippers was saying, especially about TLC. And even though this is one of their long-standing flagship shows, I agree with the fact that they don't promote it the same way because they can't. Because they recognize that people feel strongly, Cody and Robin, for the most part, for whatever reason, have been allowed to pull the strings of how this show is being perceived, how it's being produced, how it's being presented. And there's no way that they're going to allow, they're already jealous of the OG3, Robin, Mary, Christine, and Janelle. They're already jealous of those three. There's no way they're going to allow TLC to push them forward and talk positively about them so that they can get that positive feedback on the promo material. So Cody and Robin want to be involved with the promo material, but if they do that, it's going to be slash and burn time. Like, you burn it down because the comments are going to be fired up. And so they've been very hesitant about putting that kind of stuff out. We did have interesting moving to the next caller. Thank you so much, Brian Zippers. I appreciate your message. It was excellent per usual for you. We had another message from our darling from across the pond, UK Michelle.
Hey, James, it's UK Michelle. And I just wanted to say, I love our community. If the one thing that has come out of all Cody's inability to be compassionate and humane with people, I love the fact we've all got each other. So thank you and bless you, my darling. And you mods are mega mod crew. Love ya.
Awesomeness. Yeah, well, I tell you what, like I said before, I like to take credit for everything, but I can't. What it comes down to is it's a huge team effort on the production side. It's not just me. The Mega Mod Squad does a tremendous job. Mega Mod Squad, Lizzie B, OG Triple OG, Caramel Cuties, always down. Always down for the squabble. And of course, Brittany hold it down for us as well. Like, without those three, like, a lot of the I would miss a lot of the things in the chat. Like, they help me out a great deal. So I can't diminish their contribution at all. As well as, let's be honest, there's also a point where we have to recognize that it's not the YouTuber, it's the people who participate in the chat, people who support the channel, people who come in and leave comments, people who give their feedback, people who are trying to find positive images or messages within some of this foolishness that we're watching on Sister Wives. So with that being said, it is truly a team effort, and I'm honored to be a part of it. Yeah, okay. So simple as that. But big shout out to UK Michelle. Let's put some hearts in the chat for UK Michelle. She's awesome. I mean, put some hearts in the chat for UK Michelle. Throw a couple bucks too. Throw some of them hundos. Keeping it a buck. All right, we have let me see. Oh, I just messed that all up. So we're gonna go to she listed herself as anonymous, even though she gives her name. Right? She gives her name, but she listed herself as anonymous. So I'm going to refer to her as anonymous. All right, if that makes sense. So anonymous in the house.
Hi, James, new caller. I agree 100% with Megatron and Daisy about both Janelle and I think Cody as well. They both became irredeemable when Garrison died. However, I think Robin would have had the opportunity to become a more entertainment villain if she had been like the evil stepmom that Jennifer Coolidge played in a Cinderella story. However, I think she was undone by like her choice of ugly blouses and like business casual. If she had played into the whole gold digger thing, it would have been way funnier. And I think that in theory, they could still keep the show alive if she went like full on bimbo gold digger, because then like Cody would actually have to like involve himself in zany type of schemes to keep her like satisfied, money wise. So I think that like Robin is the only one who actually has a potential to keep the show going. Because like Christine and Janelle are super boring, and Mary is like super boring. I mean, I don't mind Christine and Mary; they're nice, but I think if Robin were a tormentor of Cody because of her gold digging, it would be super funny.
See, here's the thing. I don't disagree with what G said or Anonymous said. I don't disagree. Just for like, especially with regard to her observation about Christine. I've always said that to be a normal person, the goal in life, I'll strike that, redirect. The goal in life is to be reality show unworthy. Say that one more time. The goal in life should be to be reality show unworthy. What do you mean by that, James? That sounds kind of jacked up. What I mean by that is lead the type of life that is drama free. Toxic people out of here. Bad situations out of here. People who try to drag you down, twist you up, backstab you, folks you can't trust, out of here. I don't have time for that type of negativity in my life because I'm so busy trying to grind forward, keep myself positive, and raise my kids. I don't have a lot of time for a whole bunch of nonsense. So with that in mind, I am relatively boring in my life, just the way I like it. I would not be an interesting person to watch on a reality show at all. At all. I would be horrible. I'd be horrible to watch on a reality show. Right? I'm not reckless. I try not to be reckless with my money. I try to be responsible. I get twos and fews, put them together. If I can't afford it, I don't buy it. That kind of thing. Like I'm boring. I'm boring. Now, the reason why Cody and Robin are prime reality TV personalities is because they're very extreme. They're very volatile. Cody is shitty with money, like just a bad like steward of funds. You know, you imagine how much have these people made over the 20 seasons that they've been on the show. And you look at what they have to show for it. Yeah, I mean, they came out, they have some land, Christine, she's doing pretty good, especially in combination with her husband. She's doing pretty decent and she's making some moves. She has some Airbnb, some rental properties, things like that. Janelle, she just bought a bunch of property with her daughter and her husband. Mary, she has a business, the Airbnb business, or Lizzie's in that she's turned into an event center. Cody and Robin just bought a $2.1 million house, right? But with the amount of money that they made over the course of 20 seasons, they are lacking. They are in trouble. Like they are so far behind. They should be so far ahead because you figure they were making like per family, and by saying family, I mean per mother with like Christine with 6 kids, Janelle with 6 kids. If she's making $100,000 by herself, she's doing better than most people in the country by a mile, even with 6 children. Same thing with Janelle, even with 6 kids. She's making $100,000 a year just off of Sister Wives. They are doing better than most. Hell, in some cases, we're going to break it all the way down. They're doing better than some 2-parent households by themselves. And then they like all of them. Mary only had 1 child. $100,000. Cody, he's not, take care of who he want to take care of. Cody, he has $100,000. Matt Robin, 5 kids, $100,000 by herself. They did well. Now they're almost up to $1 million an episode per person. They should be so far, like they should own, like the struggle at Coyote Pass, the payoff. Coyote Pass should have been paid off with the amount of money they should be able to walk up to Coyote Pass and be like, oh, okay, how much is it? How much? Okay, well, I don't have nothing that small. Let me just go ahead, peel that off the top. Here you go. Thank you very much. That's where they should be at. But that's what makes it interesting to watch. That's why people tune into reality shows, because you got to have that type of personality. So, like, if she says that Christine is boring, and if Christine watches this, she shouldn't be insulted that somebody said you're boring. Like, that's how Christine, I'm gonna be honest with you. Being boring, that's how your ass gonna stay married. That's how you gonna stay married. Stay boring. Okay. You may come over here like, I don't know if we gonna have lights on and shit. When I get to the house, I hit that wall and I'm curious. I don't know, because she bad with money. Like, that's not excitement. That will get you left. You know what I mean? Same thing with David, Christine, we about to lose everything. I can't stop betting on the ponies. Like, great reality show, shitty life. So I agree with that. But here's G2. Or I'm sorry, I keep saying the damn name. Anonymous 2.
Hi, James. This is G again. I called earlier regarding Robin potentially having an entertaining bimbo gold digger arc within the context of monogamy and making Cody work. That would be entertaining. But I also wanted to clarify that I also think that she's irredeemable, given the fact that you don't marry a man with 13 kids and then behave like that as an evil stepmother. But she could have been entertaining within that context before G died. Garrison.
I don't disagree. Like, it would have been like, actually, I think Robin would have got a lot more respect between Robin and Cody. They would get a lot more respect had they started this off the right way. Admit from the start that you guys are in love with each other. Instead of bullshitting us and telling us, oh, yeah, guys, I view all my wives the same. I don't see no difference. And we could clearly see that there was a difference. Robin, oh, I care so much about the family. It's all about the family. We know you here for the money, because it doesn't make any sense otherwise. Like, you would have to have one hell of a pastor. Like, the one thing I never heard them say, and I'm going to go on record right now, guys, write it down, take note, check the time. I'm going to go on record right now just to bust this all up. The original time that they say they met each other, right? Robin was supposed to be living in Salt Lake, I think. She came down to Lehigh, Utah, to go to church. 5 hours. She drove 5 hours, 300 miles with 3 kids under 6. Three kids. Well, I mean, shit, maybe let's say Dayton was like 6, 7. 3 kids, 500 miles, 5 hours, 300 miles. The amount of money you got to pay, tolls, gas, wear and tear on your car, the depending on like how good your car is maintained. Like, there's a concern jazz might break down on the side of the road with 3 kids in the car, and you do that weekend after weekend. There's no way. Because the one thing I never heard them say, because the only time I've been in situations where people have visited parishes or visited different churches or whatever, and usually that occurs when one thing, in a genuine state. They always say that there is a speaker or a person who is presenting during the course of that service that is so interesting that you feel like you got to get down there and hear this message. This person delivers such a powerful message that you get up off your couch, you're watching your TV or whatever, and you go to that church because that message is so powerful that it inspired people. And this guy is like, this gal, they just get up and they just speak the word like nobody else. I've never heard them say that. I've never heard them say like, oh, the person they had in Lehigh, woo, he bring the fire, son. When he get up and start preaching, oh, it's a wrap, baby. It's a wrap. I've never heard them say that. And to me, if I was driving, like I don't know if I drive 5 hours, like that had to be a powerful message. Put me in a car for 5 hours. That'd be a powerful message, almost like fortune telling. James, this week we're gonna go over the Powerball numbers. I'm giving the jackpot. The Holy Spirit wants everybody here to be a billionaire, right? I don't know. Like this is the golden ticket into heaven. The message would have to be powerful, and I've never heard them say that. So there's no reason. Oh, you should come down here into Lehigh because we got some interesting ass people that you can't find in Salt Lake City. Like, what? Matter of fact, let me just look at something real quick. Let's check something because I like that because we have these supercomputers. The population of Salt Lake City, 217,783 people. So almost roughly 220,000 people. Population of Utah, 80,000. You telling me that you gonna leave a town that have 220,000 people? You can't find nobody in 220,000 people. So you can go to a town with 80,000 people to see if you can scoop some people. The odds are just out of your, what are we doing? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? That don't even make no sense. If I, that's like you saying you have a choice. You a single person and you could go to New York City, the city that never sleeps, or you can go to Lexington, Kentucky. You gotta find somebody. I mean, I guess it depends on maybe they too fast over there and see, they get it popping in Salt Lake. They just, they get it popping and whopping up in Salt Lake. They ain't taking those shorts. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it is. It's too fast for Robin because she too quiet and she gotta go somewhere a little slower. That ain't making no sense. But like I said, I would look for, that was one of the things that just never rang. And I never really figured that out till just now. That's one of the things that never rang for me, that it was missing from that story. Because if you're going to drive 5 hours to a different church of this, especially a church of the same faith, so you're getting basically the same message, right? It's just the only difference, real difference is going to be the person delivering that message. So I'm not driving. I mean, ultimately what it comes down to is I'm not driving 5 hours to be entertained. Right. Like I said, that message would have to be like, whoa, this dude, whoa, he get up on the pulpit, my man. Oh, the spirit just be loose. Like, you know what I mean? It had to be like that. I'm talking about like, God is good all the time kind of praising. Like you just in there hollering. Like it'd have to be that good. 5 hours? You never said that though. You was talking all about the thunderclapper though. Oh, I got hit with the Thundercat. Saw Cody and smile and just had to draw me in. Yeah, the guy with like 13 kids. That's what you was looking for. You know what I mean? That's the dude that turned your head. The guy with 3 wives and 13 kids. And you got 3 kids of your own. I don't know. Melissa's Melissa Sweetster. Wait, did I say that wrong? Yeah. Melissa Sweetster with the $5 super chat. Said that buy the mods a cup of coffee. I shall actually I have something planned for the mods, but that will help to go towards the thing that I want to do. But thank you. And stay tuned for it because it will hopefully they'll like it. I don't know. What else like? I'm excited about it. We'll see what they say. They're like, oh, this shit, ooh, James, it's nice. Thank you. I'll put my heart and soul into it. It's special for you. But it will definitely go towards that. I will put that towards it. Thank you. And I'll even put your name in there. Thank you. Let me put that on there. 1 second. All right, Melissa Sweetser. Let me get you a little something. Thank you so much. Then we had local art switch with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Law. James, you see that Cody and Robin took out a huge HELOC loan against their mind poison mansion. Mind poison mansion. That's awesome. The Cinder Palace. I think it was like $750,000. Yeah, because they're money moguls. They making money moves. That's what they doing. They making money moves. See, what they would say to you, Law, and what they would say to a person like me is y'all don't understand how I'm moving this big money. Because I went and I took my house at one point, like the house I was buying for $800,000, and I sold it for 1.6 million. I bought a $2.1 million house. So I almost quadrupled the amount of money that I was paying for my home, or doubled it, basically 150%, right? 1.5 times the amount, almost 2 times the amount, 2.5, the amount that I paid for my home. I went out and bought another home. And then when I bought that home, I didn't stop there. I took out a loan on that house. Why? Because I got to have nice things. You know why? Because sister wives will never end. In fact, if you look at Cody when he takes his shirt off during special forces, there's a part in it, if you pause the TV just right, you'll see that right above Cody's belt line, he has a sister wife forever tattoo tramp stamp right above his ass. Sister wife forever. Of course, I'm lying, but so is the idea that they making big money moves. It's just bad financial decisions. Like, that is not a good move. And some people are speculating that he took out that loan to give money back to Mary. You don't need $750,000 to do that, because Mary didn't make $750,000 off of the sale of her house in Las Vegas. So that part of it, why you would take out that much of a loan? Like a HELOC, home equity line of credit. That's what a HELOC is, a home equity line of credit. So basically you're putting a lien against your house, a second loan against your home. So what I like to see, the way I see it, unless that money is specifically targeted to something and is actually going to make you more money, or somehow, like whether it's through investment in your original property so you can improve the property so that the equity in your property goes up, or you're investing in some kind of business or some other type of financial investment, for you just to take out a HELOC loan so you can buy more jewelry, more junk, lease more cars, buy more motorcycles or whatever the hell. That's just, that HELOC at that point is just another way for you to lose your house. That's all that is. That's all that turns into. It's just another person who's standing in line so that they can take your house from you. That's all that is. So unless they're doing something, unless Cody is doing something big with that 750, bruh, you messing up. That's too much. I would feel uncomfortable having that much of a lot that much line of credit on a home that I barely am into? Like, how much of that home do you actually own? Right? That you're gonna take out 750. Like, just because you have a $2.1 million house doesn't mean you have to owe all 2.1 million of it. So I don't know. I'm gonna be talking about this. I have a video I'm releasing tomorrow. I got tied up. I wanted to release a whole bunch of videos this week. I got tied up with my helping my daughter out with some things. And the video I have coming out tomorrow, I want to talk about this. I'm going to touch on this. It's going to touch on this. It's basically, about like Robin and that damn NDA and what her and Cody are doing, not only to the show, but doing to themselves. And I'm going to touch on this subject matter. So keep an eye out for that. Tomorrow, I'll be dropping that video. But thank you so much, Local Art Switch. And Local Art Switch is one of the people who calls in sometimes on Saturdays. I say sometimes. She's been pretty consistent, but I don't want to promise her forward like she have to call in. And, but yeah, she comes into the members roundtable sometimes, dropping some pearls, some wisdom. So thank you very much, Local Art Switch. All right. Then we had Cindy from Oz, Cindy from Down Under. Cody will pass away. Cody will pass away in debt. And when he does, Robin will just not pay her debt like before and go bankrupt. Yeah, right. That's the thing, too. Especially when you're a younger person married to an older person. No shade on Cody for being an older man with a younger woman. But as a younger person, you got to keep an eye on that, boo. You got to keep an eye on that. My man just there running up credit cards and shit. Like, especially with your name on it, your social security number is tied to that stuff. It was great when you had three additional incomes. But when the wives left, and this is part of the thing when I'm saying they're not financially responsible, I didn't see when the wives left, they took 60% of Robin and Cody's income because the wives would contribute their checks from TLC to the family fund. And when they stopped contributing, because there's 5 of them, 1, 2, 40, the other 3, 60, 40 plus 60, 100. They took 60% of their financial wherewithal when they walked out the door. They took 60% of their money when they walked out the door, their income. But I don't see where Robin and Cody have slowed down with their purchasing. If anything, they've sped it up. They become more aggressive with their purchases. And that to me is crazy. Especially if you're a part of a show. Like if you're a part of like this new hit show and you've been on for like 3 years, and they like, this show stays number 1 with a bullet, blah, 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 then you might be like, you know what? I'm going to go crazy. All of a sudden, I got movie deals coming through, people trying to get me, Marvel's talking to me like, yeah, you're going to be the next big bad in the Avengers movie. So that's like 15 damn movies right there. We're going to make you close to $1 billionaire by the time you get done. If you're not a billionaire, you at least going to be worth 300 million after we get done with you over here at Marvel and the Mouse. Okay? Then they go crazy. $2.1 million house, no problem. But if you're on a reality show that's been over 20 seasons about polygamy, and at this point, none of you are living polygamy, that's like being on Gilligan's Island after you get discovered on the island. After this is the season where we get rescued. Then you go back and everybody like Gilligan, because he, the captain for sure. The captain and Gilligan, they no longer in the seafaring business. After you done shipwrecked the ship with a millionaire in it and his wife and a damn Nobel Peace Prize laureate, a movie star, maybe you get away with like shipwrecking Marianne, even though Marianne was probably, Marianne was Marianne, you know what I mean? But but Gilligan and the skipper, their careers is over. So what, we gonna follow Gilligan's Island watching them work at Burger King? You know what I mean? The skipper taking care of the floors and Gilligan back there dropping fries and shit. You know what I mean? The show is over. It's over. And you go out and spend all your money. I don't know. But again, that's a good point. Like you with an older man and he running up crazy debt and he talking that good shit. Girl, we're gonna get a $2.1 million house, and guess what we're gonna do with that joint? Guess what we're gonna do with that? That's about $11,000 a month in mortgage. Then we're gonna go out and get a $750,000 HELOC because clearly we're not paying enough in our monthly mortgage amounts. And that's even before you talk about heating the house or putting any air conditioning in the damn place or a stick of food up in there, right? Maintenance, taking care of the house. That's not a new house. So shit's gonna start breaking. But I guess with that 750, we're gonna just go ahead and flip that, skip that. Maybe we take out another HELOC loan. You know what I mean? Look, dumb decisions. So, and Robin might get hit because you get you come out of she had a 30,000, which is a lot of money, out of her first marriage, and she brought that to the Brown family. There is no way in the world you're gonna be a 40-year-old woman, 5 kids, no skills, and you want to marry into a family like another polygamous family with $750,000 worth of debt. Who are you marrying? Who the hell are you marrying? Do the AUB have money like that? You had to marry the prophet, I guess. Even then, he was like, look, 750. Oh, there ain't enough quiet, shy wife in the world for 750,000. 750. What am I gonna do with you for 750? Oh, but thank you so much, Cindy. 750. It hurts my feelings saying it. Can you imagine? Oh, she's the woman of my dreams. Yeah, but she has $750,000 debt. Well, it was nice meeting you. That's how that conversation would go. She's the woman of my dreams. I think I found my soulmate. Yeah, she owed the bank $750,000. Well, I'm not gonna waste no more of your time because I can't do nothing with 750. Shit. In a house that I'll never own. Oh. Next up, we got Jody Pierce Scott with the $4.99 super chat. Says, note to self said it was his fear she was dating. He had to mark his territory, leave his smelly scent. I don't doubt it. Because I'm sure she ran the game. I got plenty of people who trying to get at me, so you might want to holla, right? So he gets excited and he run down there and I got to pay attention to her. I got to give her things she wants. You set the stage of how you want him to treat you. And once it's established, that's just the expectation that he's going to do certain things. So I get that, and I don't disagree with it. I just think it's dumb as hell because, I get it. You want to seduce people. You want people to do things to ingratiate them into liking you. But at the same time, I've always felt that when you approach a relationship, you want to approach a relationship as an equal, not as somebody who's begging to get into the relationship with a person or asking or trying to, shape yourself so that you become appealing to them. They should be trying to appeal to you just as much as you're appealing to them, right? And it should be, if you guys are meeting on that level to where you recognize your value and you recognize your worth and you recognize that this person, if they hook up with you and things go right, they win it because that's how you carry yourself. I think that is the way to approach these types of relationships. And had he approached it that way, the truth of it is that when push them down to shove, because at the end of the day, I don't think anybody is making an argument that Robin dated Cody because he was nice to her and he was coming around a lot and he was kissing her ass. She dated Cody and pursued Cody because he had a TV show coming. There's not Cody actually played himself. Cody played himself because he could have because she's not there for him, she's there for the show. Bruh, you could have did whatever you wanted, you know. Well, you gonna go over there. Well, I want to be in a private house with you by myself so you could be around the kids. That ain't gonna work. You need to move into the house. Janelle says she gonna move into the bottom side of her house, and you need to move into that. If you can't move into that, then it ain't gonna work. Oh, I mean, I'll make it work because I want to be with you. Cause she would have did that shit if he would have said it right. She would have did it. I'm never going to move in there with her. Okay, well, who else in this church? Let's keep it all the way above. Oh, there was a lot of guys in the church who were trying to get at me. Okay, who in this church? Who else in this church have you been driving 5 hours to see? Point them out. Point them out to me. Who else down here have you been driving 5 hours to see? Yeah, they might have saw you at the dinners, and they might have saw you at the dances. Maybe they saw you after church, thought you were interesting and cute. But who down here have you been driving 5 hours to see? I bet you was driving 5 hours to try to get your ass on TV. I bet you that. Know your worth. Know your worth. You know, Cody played himself, like I said, you know, in a rough and tumble game of the sexual marketplace. He played himself. He's a joke. He played himself. He begging to get something that she was begging to give you. Please give it to me, please. It says Cody. It has your name on it and everything. Give to Cody. Please, please. I'll do whatever you want. Anything it takes. Just put your hand out. I'll give it to you. That's not enough. That's not enough. Let me come around and ignore my kids. Let me just disparage my wives because I got to show how important you are to me. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jody Perez. All right. Then we have another message. We're gonna get back to the speak pipes. We had Danny Towns. Daddy Towns. Robin and Cody are idiots. Period. Robin and Cody are idiots. Full stop. I was trying to give them credit when he did Special Forces in Soul County Pass that maybe they were able to make a dent in the mortgage. That's what I said. I'm with you, Danny. I'm with you, Danny. That's what you would think. That's what you would think. Like, okay, I'm gonna sell the McMansion. That's 1.6. Even though they had a HELOC on the McMansion too, I'm gonna sell, from my understanding, we're gonna sell that. I'm gonna take that money and I'm gonna dump. I don't know why you would do this, but I'm gonna dump that money into a $2.1 million house. Then I'm gonna sell County Pass. I'm gonna parcel all the money out, give everybody their fair share. That way I get them off my back. Maybe get them to sign some documents saying we settled, keep them happy. I could put that money into that house, pay that down a little more. Especially, and I reiterate this, especially if you're Robin. If you're Robin, you want him to pay off as much shit as he can before he start kicking dirt. Okay? Because once he goes, it's all on you. And the shop pretty wife is going to have to try to figure out how to pay $750,000 back on top of her $2.1 million mortgage. So you want him to pay off as much shit as he can while he's alive. And technically, while he's still making good money. Because once you come off this show, what do you guys have? Like, when I genuinely want somebody to give them a real interview. Like Cody and Robin. I want somebody to give them a real interview. Not this bullshit. I never watched the show, so I don't really understand what's going on. Or I'm going to just sit here and let you lecture me. I want somebody to sit down and ask them, when this show ends, because assuming like this show, like there are better shows, like let's be honest. There in the history of television, there are way better shows than Sister Wives. In those shows, with the exception of maybe I think Seinfeld was the only show I really heard of where the creators, showrunners, and the star of the show say, you know what, we're going to stop this show while we're still number one. On most shows, they hit their high and they try to ride it as long as they can, and they cascade down. And these are better shows, more beloved shows than Sister Wives. And those shows have been canceled. So it's not hard to assume that at some point in time, Sister Wives are going to be canceled too. My question is this: what do you guys have in the hopper to do next? What's next? It's not what you're doing, it's what you have coming up. What's your next project? What's your next thing that's going to bring you, especially you're taking out a $750,000 loan on a house that's worth $2.1 million that you just bought. What are you going to do if this show stops tomorrow? Thereby the checks stop tomorrow and you guys don't get royalty checks. So you're done. You're done. Once you're done, you're done. Your last episode is your last paycheck. And once that hits, what's moved to? And I'd be interested to hear what they had to say. Because otherwise, none of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. But thank you so much, Danny Townsend. You have a speak pipe in too, so we'll be getting to that shortly. All right. So back to the speak pipes. I need to get one of them speak pipe things, like, you know, the old Batman back in the day with a spin in. Speak pipe, speak pipe. And I'll be doing a bat tootsie. All right. Next up, we have some of y'all like bat tootsie. What the hell is he talking about? All right. Next up, we have Candace. Candace in the house. What's going on?
Hey James, it's Sharice. I'm calm this week.
Shit. All right, guys. I just blew that. So we're gonna do take two, okay? Next up, guys. I don't know why. Oh, I just picked the wrong one. Okay, so yeah, we do have some Candace stuff. But we're gonna do Sharice first. We'll do Sharice, then we'll do Candace.
I'm about halfway through the Tell Nothing. Okay. So what I find funny is Cody saying, and I haven't watched your review from last night yet, so you might have already spoke about this, but Cody saying that Robin isn't submissive because they tried to hang on to this Bible, God, and God wants the wife to be submissive to a man that's worth being submissive to. So why does he take it offensive that somebody is calling his wife submissive? Y'all be praying and carrying on and doing all of this, and every time you turn around, Robin's talking about God and the religion and religion. Do they not follow the Bible? Like, how does that work? How does that work? Yeah, cause y'all full of shit. That's what. Like, that's just it. Period. Like, what do you mean? Anything that anybody says against Robin, he takes as an insult. But it's nothing wrong with having a submissive wife. She can still have a voice and be submissive. Submissive doesn't mean slave. Submissive, that's the negative connotation of it. Read your Bible. Get in your Bible, Cody. Get in your Bible. Period.
Okay. All right. Sharice dropping the word. I think that it just depends on your family structure. Like, I'm not gonna bash somebody who says, like, there are men who will be submissive to their wives, wives will be submissive to their husbands. Whatever works for you. If you like it, I love it. Do you, boo-boo. But I think that it comes down to a thing of he's defending the idea of her being submissive, not because she's being submissive, because Robin has actually said in previous tell-alls, in previous confessionals, especially when she was trying to cull the other wives and bring them in to make them more submissive. She had constantly talked about Cody is the leader. Cody is the boss. Oh, we defer to Cody because he's the one who's supposed to lead the family. That is being submissive. So it doesn't make sense for you to get to season 20 and because somebody says it and you don't like the way it sounds now you have a problem with it. But back in season like 2, 3, 4, I think around season 5 and 6, even when they had Tamron Hall on, she had said that Cody is the leader. He's the boss. They were talking about Sister Wives Closet. Oh, he's the boss. He should be able to make decisions for himself because he's the boss. We're just here to support him because we're the wives, and that's what we're supposed to do. Like, it was blatantly a clarion call to the other wives that this is what you guys need to start doing. You need to start submitting to the boss, the leader, bowing down to what he wants. And from that respect, it makes sense what Janelle was saying, that in order for you to get power, you have to give a little power. So what Janelle was referring to specifically was Robin will be submissive to Cody, because by her being submissive to Cody, it places her in a position above the other wives. And I think that that's more accurate. I think that what Janelle said is accurate from that perspective. But being as Sharice said, like, being submissive doesn't necessarily mean that you're a pushover. It just means that you submit, like you listen to people's decisions. I'm not going to say one way or another what good or bad. I'm just saying that that's what it is. But yeah. And there are, like I said, it depends on which teaching you're a part of, what religion you're a part of, how that religion is constructed. With their particular religion, since you have the husband is the priesthood holder and is basically the appointed head of the family by the church and by your faith, it's very difficult for you to argue that your wife shouldn't be submissive when you are from the type of church, especially, and we'll talk about that concept or that prospect in various religions, whether it's Islam or any of the Abrahamic religions. We could talk about it, but in this particular religion, the whole thing is based on patriarchy. So you can't say that like your wife is a partner when she's not a fucking, like, pardon my friend, she's not a freaking partner. She's submissive by design of the institutions in which they were created. The only way those institutions work is if the women are submissive to their husbands, because otherwise you would have complete chaos. You would have a rudderless family in those situations. By their faith, by the way they construct their families, by the way that they orchestrate things. This isn't James's opinion. This is their opinion. And you guys say that you are faith and you are deeply religious and you believe in your faith and blah, blah, blah. Then I'm just saying, like, you'd have to be a little more expansive than, oh, Robin has a spine of concrete and steel. Like, that's cute to say. Just like, when I'm a strong, independent, and the whole time you come down and you milking the other women for their money. So you juicing everybody for their money. So I, kind of miss me with that. But Sharice had another one.
Every time Robin open her mouth, it's Sharice again. Every time Robin open her mouth, I get mad.
I
And
say
and
Sharice.
the show only went about a few seconds forward. She want to talk about. Suki said, "Explain to me what girls' games is. You really want me to tell you? Yeah, bitch. Yeah, we want to know. Clock the fuck in. You getting paid nearly $1 million a season to do what, bitch? Clock the fuck in. This is the tell nothing, bitch. The one-on-one, bitch. We want to know what the fuck you got to say. Clock the fuck in. Suki ain't finna do your job for you. You just sitting over there collecting a check while we watching you do nothing.
No lies detected on that front. I like the clock in, because I've even said before, it's crazy to me because they've had episodes where Mary's friend Jen had more screen time than Robin did. They've had episodes where, and it's kind of been this way. This is also part of the reason why nobody really likes Robin, and they've set themselves up. I discussed this before in one of my previous videos, that they were destined to be, when I talked about heroes versus villains. Robin has set herself up to where she has hit herself back so much, because if you remember, anytime an issue would come up during the course of a family discussion and they had to make a decision, she would never state her opinion. No, I want to hear what Christine had to say. No, I want to hear what Mary has to say. No, I want to hear what Janelle has to say. She would never state her opinion. She would never come down or reveal who she is or what she's about. Right? And she's trying to carry that forward to now, because previously she would rely on the drama, the toxicity of the other relationships and comment on those relationships, on those people. But she kept her relationship and things going on with hers hidden away from the audience. So now she's still trying to do the same thing, but because she doesn't interact with any of the other women and she has nothing to do with anybody else, the only person on the show she interacts with is Cody. So technically, the same way Mary has Jen or Janelle had her friends and Maddie, or Christine has David, Cody has Robin. And the difference is Jen, David, Maddie, Janelle's friends don't make $1 million a season. So because you're getting paid more, you need to do more. So in the words of Charisse, you need to clock in. You need to get it popping. So hats off to Charisse. Clock in. We have one more from Charisse.
Okay, I tried to not come back. I tried to let it flow. I'm gonna let it flow after this, and I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just take notes and come back and say what I had to say in 90 seconds. Anyway, Robin, girl, bitch, please. What the fuck do you mean they only saying stuff because they struggling with their own feelings? No, bitch, you're struggling with your feelings because you're sitting over there miserable as fuck, and you don't know how to lead this man by himself because all of his women done left him. And then if you leave him, then he'll be alone, and you feel sad for him because you still love him, and that's cool. That's cool. But don't sit over here and try to act like these women are downing you. They're not downing you. It's the truth. This is how he talk about you. He act like you the best bitch that ever crossed this motherfucking earth. And no bitch can ever top you. And he was married to these women before you. That's crazy. That would make me feel some type of way. As the first, second, third wife. Like, let's be fucking for real. You bring this young bitch in here and you think she is just the fucking best thing since fucking potato chips, bitch? No. Fuck this young bitch. Period.
Well, Charisse was sharing how she really felt. Not hold nothing back. Bump her. She ridiculous. The whole thing is that, you know, I've said this before. The problem that I think a lot of the audience members had with the way Robin came into the family, Robin didn't come in and join the Brown family. She forced the Brown family to join her. And I think that type of disruption, again, you basically became the blueprint of an antagonist or villain in this situation. You entered into what they were reporting as a stable, healthy, loving home, threw a hand grenade in it, blew it all to smithereens, and then you want to stand on top of the ashes and cry about how the family don't exist anymore. You burned them down. What are you talking about? You did this. It was you. So miss me with the, I miss the family. I can't let it go. I can't let it go. That's, man, this is like watching some lunatic ass serial killer today talking about how he missed all his people. I miss them. I miss them. I miss them. I miss them. They would still be here if it wasn't for the unfortunate circumstances that they met your ass. They would still be kicking around, alive and well. I miss them so much. You did it. I don't know. But next up we have this time Miss Candace.
Yeah, just watching your live after the Tell Nothing, the first one. Yeah, Janelle, she's guilty as charged. Put the cuffs on that lady. She is guilty. It is not a good look the way she's trying to cover her ass. And I'm with Megatron. I'm going to ride her ass. Megatron gets Seabiscuit. I'll get the next lower class thoroughbred. But we're riding. And a bunch of, I think, your members are going to go on Janelle. They're riding Janelle's ass. But my question is, why is Mary and Janelle even talking to him without their lawyers? It doesn't, I don't know. Janelle is just a shady lady. She's like trying to do, I really believe she's doing this backdoor deal. She wants to just get the chains off her from Cody and Robin and get this deal done, get her money. She pretty much is to the point where she's going to chew her own hand off to get out of the chains. But you don't fuck somebody over. Like, these people are 1, 2 steps, whatever, away from, I think, criminal activity. And I would love to see at least Cody and Robin behind bars. But anyway, okay.
All right. Yeah, you know what? With Janelle, like I like her, you know, and I feel for her, especially when she's still on season 18 and she was crying, talking about she don't have nothing. Like that broke my heart. I was like, damn, girl, damn, why'd you do that to yourself? Why would you put yourself in that situation? But if I'm gonna keep it all the way above, the reason she gave and the explanation she gave as to the whole concept or discussion of the backdoor deal was super suspect. It's super sketchy the way she did it, the way she talked about it. It's, you know, it wasn't the type of like the denial she gave wasn't the type of denial I would expect from somebody who didn't do anything wrong. She did a non-denial denial. You know, did you do this? Well, I didn't do this. I merely talked to Cody, and the full statement is, I didn't do this shit. I don't know what they talking about. This is bull. What? This is stupid. No, why would I do that? I understand that if I were to sign off on this and I was a party to this, that I'm sitting here crying because I need the money, because I need the sale to go through, because I need to pay my daughter back, or I need this money so that we can get our business started or whatever. They took out loans and I have to pay that loan back. So I really needed this sale. But I understand that if I would have put my name on this and he would have sold that land and I would have signed off on it, that I not only would be morally questionable, but I would get sued too. I would be listed as a co-conspirator in this crime, because technically it's a crime. It's conversion is what it is. Like you're taking something from somebody and depriving them the use of said thing. So you, even if it's not a theft by unlawful taking or whatever the case may be, fraud in some cases, even if you get past all that, it's certainly a civil case, and she would lose that civil case. And so any money or any advantage that you potentially would get by selling the land, you would spend or blow in court fees. And there's a strong possibility you might turn around and walk away with nothing from the sale, and marry cash out on all that money. So no, I would hope that she would deny it a little more fervently. But there is a real possibility, and this is the one thing that I will hold out. There is a possibility, a very strong possibility, if you read between the lines, listen to what she's saying, that she signed the NDA because Janelle was desperate. Janelle was desperate. And I can hear, even now, I can hear the desperation in her voice. And when you are desperate like that, especially when you're doing business dealings or negotiations, that's like blood in the water to a shark. If you desperate like that, Cody could have asked her for anything and she would have did it because she's desperate. You know, all right, here's what we're going to do. You're going to sign this NDA. Okay, I'll do that. Okay. You're going to sign this release of financial obligation towards you. Like, I don't owe you any more money after this. Cool. Oh, yeah, I guess I'll do that. And you're going to sneak over to the Motel 6 with me, and we're going to take care of some business. Okay, whatever it takes. Like, she's desperate. She's desperate. And it's unfortunate it's like that. Like, that again, this is something I'm going to address in my video tomorrow. But I just thought, like, it's just, there's a possibility that, you know, there's a possibility she did it. I will say this. I will give the caveat to this. I don't think she was the one that brought it up. I think Cody was the one who brought it up as a possibility, because Cody is the one who likes to, you know, Janelle and them like to get people on their side too. But Cody likes to get people on his side, particularly because when the shit goes bad and he knows that it will go bad, he wants to have somebody that he can point to and blame. Now, the shame of it is, and the dummy do of where Janelle is that if you engaged in that behavior with him and you didn't understand that he wasn't pulling you in because he was your ally, he was your friend, and he trying to hook you up and just get it done, and Mary screwing shit up, but in fact, he was pulling you in because it was something that he was planning to do. And then once it was done, he was planning to blame you. That's what it is. He's not pulling you in because he was. This is the equivalent of, like, you hear about corrupt cops. You know, you have police officers and they come onto a scene and there's a pile of money on the table and these guys want to start splitting it up. They want everybody to take some of that money because that prevents you from walking out of there telling on me. I don't give a shit. Like, if you a dirty cop, I don't care if you take this money and put it on your kids, you buy your girlfriend something, you buy your wife something, whatever. You take this money and throw it down the sewer hole. Well, back in the day, we used to call it suey hole, right? You do whatever you want, but you're going to walk out of here with something in your pocket. Because if not, you're going to be in a situation where you be calling for backup and nobody coming, right? So, like, that's how they get you, right? Because they want you involved. And you're not going to walk out of there with 50% or 20% of the take. They just going to give you a little break off money. And that's what Cody is doing to Janelle. That's what I think. Like, if this is what happened, he brought it up. He didn't involve Janelle because he wanted Janelle to be a part of it. He involved Janelle because he wanted somebody to blame, just like them damn books. He didn't listen to you. Oh, Janelle, my financial advisor. And when she said things, she was like, JP Morgan, I listen. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. She was just the one who was holding the pen, holding the books, so that when the shit go wrong and people start realizing that the money coming up short, short as a toddler standing in a ditch, as soon as that money start coming up short, he gonna point to Janelle and say, which he's been doing. Janelle was running the books. Janelle the one, the money's short, and she must have did it. I had nothing to do with it. Oh, I'm surprised too. That's all it is. That's what I think. That's where, I think that, if Janelle had a friend or people on her team, that's where you start pulling their coattails. He talking that good shit now, Janelle, and he telling you that y'all a team and y'all partners and y'all working together because y'all smart and y'all the only two got logic and y'all think business wise and y'all business savvy, all that bullshit. He is pulling out the carpet. He about to lay you down, and here come the bus. Okay, because that's what he's doing. He's setting your ass up. He's setting you up. And shame on you if you fell for it. But going back to Candace 2.
Hey, James, Candace, number 2 here. Yeah, I was thinking about just what I said earlier. Like, why are they even contacting Cody? Why is, aside from Coyote Pass, Mary told Jen on the bench that he still calls her. And I'm like, why? Coyote Pass is done. Like, delete this man out of your life. So it makes no sense to me that she's still fooling with him. It makes me think she has not completely moved on, even though she says she has. And I know they have a child together, but he doesn't even talk to Leon. He has nothing to do with that child. So if he wants his relationship with his kids, he can work on that himself. He doesn't need to go through Mary. She doesn't need to facilitate that. Like, be done with this fool. Stop messing with him. After all the shit he's done to her, like, if it were me, if he calls me, click, bye, I would block him right away. I would have nothing more to do with him. Continue on the show if you want to make money. Do what you got to do. But you don't have to accept his phone calls, him chewing you out about your friends. Fuck that. Let him talk his shit. You talk your shit. That's it. All right. That's all I have to say. Bye.
I don't disagree with what she's saying. I think that, I won't say the excuse, but if you're going to use the reason why you stay in touch with somebody you broke up with, it's for the kids. We share a child together and it's for the children, right? If you're going to use that as an excuse, make sure that they're still involved with the kids. Make sure you're having a conversation about why they're not talking to your kid. I understand that you guys got to be able to get along in case, the children, blah, 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 and they got life events. I get that shit. I do. But I'm not going to sit up here and maintain a relationship for my children when my children are being hurt by said relationship or said person that I'm in that relationship with, nor am I going to sit here and pretend like my kids don't exist so that I can get along with that person, for my kids. That shit if you say it out loud, it don't even make any sense. It doesn't make sense. I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to get along with this person. I'm going to abandon my self-esteem, my self-worth, and everything else. And I'm going to smash myself down into the kind of person who can get along with this person for my kids because it's all about the children. But he doesn't deal with none of the kids. He doesn't talk to any of the kids. And if anything, my relationship with that person is hurting my children because they recognize that they don't talk to him and they want to and can't. And I'm sitting up here saying, I'm talking to him for y'all. No, you're not. You talking to him for you. I don't have nothing to do with that equation. And if you really want to keep it all the way a buck, please keep my name out your mouth when you sit there making excuses as to why you trying to build a bridge back to the mother so-and-so, the mother sucker. Don't say it's about me because it has nothing to do with me. It's about you and what you want and what you want for your life and how you want to get along. It has nothing to do with me. So I mean, I don't want to be nasty about it, but I'm just saying, like, I think that's a big thing because I'm all about co-parenting. I'm all about peaceful circumstances. But with co-parenting, there are different levels to co-parenting. Being a co-parent doesn't mean you have to be best friends with the person that you're parenting with. Is it ideal? Is it wonderful if you can have a friendship and a relationship with that person and get along with them and even pick up the phone and have like little loosey-goosey conversations with them? Hey, how's your day going? That's beautiful if that can happen. If I, like I said, I told the story about my cousin. I have a cousin who has he was with a woman, they had a child, and then they were no longer together. And to this day, the baby girl is grown. She's grown. To this day, the baby mom and her husband will go over to my cousin's house for holidays, and like they've come to like barbecues and stuff that he's had and parties and stuff that he's had. They'll come over to the house. Everybody gets along. Everything is cool. Everything is fine. It's a beautiful relationship. Nobody's trying to get it. Nobody else. It's not no backdoor slipping and sliding, hipping and dipping. None of that stuff. It's just straight. I liked you at one point. We were friends. We're friends now. We're cool now. We're raising a child together. That child is grown. We still have a relationship because I like you because you're cool people. Her husband is cool people. His wife is cool people. They all get along. That's beautiful. But that's not required for co-parenting. That's not required for co-parenting. All you need to be able to do is be, I would say professional, but all you really need to do is be able to pick up the phone and say, this is what's going on with the baby. This is what's happening with the child. This is some of the issues that we're facing. These are some of the challenges. These are some of the good things that are happening with them. Did they tell you that they did great on the spelling test or whatever the case may be? That's the kind of conversations you should be able to have as a co-parent. That's it. But I don't have to change my life and lifestyle or make myself small so I can make you and your wife feel comfortable. That's ridiculous. So don't blame the kids. And especially don't blame the kids when you're about to make dumb decisions for yourself. If you restart a romantic relationship with somebody and they coming by, you know what I hate? Strike that. You know what I hate? When you hear about people saying, oh, I'm gonna come over and see the kids, and I'm trying to spend time with the children, and then all of a sudden something happened and stops. Like, I was just trying to come over and see the kids. You would show up to the house about 2:30 in the morning. Kids long sleep. Them kids don't even know your ass is there. You're not coming over there for the kids. You might peep in the room to see the kid, make sure they sleeping before you go do what you gonna do with their mama. But you're not there for the kids. Don't sit there and pretend like that's a visit. Them kids don't even know your ass was there. Well, you got to get out of here because I don't want them to be confused if they see you in the morning coming out of my room. It's not for the kids. That's for you. That's for you. Don't say, oh, I didn't want him involved with the kids, so I was just giving him some so he would come and see the babies. He never came by and saw the kids. Kids don't even recognize his ass. They saw him in the street. They wouldn't know who he was. It's for you. But Candace 3.
Hey, James, Candace number 3 here. I'm listening to your live and you're talking about like just how these are not your kind of people. Like they're not. Like I've been saying this. There's some content creators that blame the AUB for their behavior and all this stuff, and I'm just not buying it. Yeah, they were raised or they came into it later in life, whatever, Cody and Janelle, but I'm not buying that. Of course, they saw this in their culture, men treating the women like crap and not taking care of their kids and all that. But I'm just not buying that that's the total reason for their shit behavior and how they backstab each other and how none of them can trust each other. This just goes beyond basic human decency. And I don't accept that in any culture, anything. I don't care. Like, these people know right from wrong. And it's just disgusting. And they're just continued to, allow this to go on. And it really is a gross thing to watch, but I'm too far into it now. And I'm going to keep watching it to the very end. And I want to see Robin and Cody's come up and so bad, which I never will. It will be after the show ends and she leaves him. But I'm looking for the day they get their come up. And all right.
I want to see them. I'm with you. I was saying I was muting myself. I can see them saying like, I want to see them go down so bad. I want to see them get their full karma. We're never going to see that because as long as Cody is drawing a check off of TLC, as long as he's making money and he's able to keep Robin in the lifestyle in which he has grown accustomed, she is not going to leave him. Okay, the only way Robin would ever consider leaving Cody is if she had an alternative to Cody. She had somebody that she could go to and is making more money than Cody, is able to put her up in a bigger, better house, maybe pay all their bills, etc., etc., etc. Then she would leave. She would consider leaving Cody. But even then, that person would have to lock it up quick. Like she would have to have guarantees. There's no way in the world Robin is walking out on Cody right now. There's no way in the world. Like she's not leaving until every nickel is spent. Okay, she's not going until like when TLC like, yeah, the show's over. Yeah, the show's over. She might just, oh, is it? Oh, I'm sorry. And then she pull an envelope out of her shirt, like that she's been carrying around, like she's been carrying divorce papers for years, right? Waiting for them to do that. The crazy part is, here's my prediction, because she's also been setting this shit up. If y'all notice that when she talk about Cody, especially when she was talking about the kids in season, was it season 18, 19, I think it was. When she was talking about the kids, what did she say? Oh, yeah, sometimes Cody make the kids uncomfortable because he got that murder face. Remember that shit? Basically saying that he's abusive and he makes the kids uncomfortable. That sounds like a play for child custody to me. She laying the groundwork so she can get that child custody up off his dumb ass. And he's sitting there, yeah, I be making him look scary. You stupid ass. This is the shit that if you ever work with an attorney, there is an attorney who is sitting there, divorce attorney who is watching that show. And when he go back and watch that tape, when Cody hires a divorce attorney, he watched that tape. This dude is going to pull his hair clean out of his head. He's going to be looking like Cody's ass. Well, he's going to look like Cody's twin walking up in the court. because he's gonna lose his fucking mind. Well, who told you to admit that shit? You don't acknowledge that. That's an accusation. You let that shit sit there unless you're going to deny it, which I would hope you did. But since you didn't do that, just don't say anything. Don't agree with her. Don't agree with her that you're scaring your children. What are you, crazy? And she's been laying tracks. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Robin, you can say whatever you want to say about Robin. Robin is not she's not a stupid person, right? She is very, like, she might not be like the most, sophisticated tactician in the world, right? But she is putting a case together, son. And I've said this before, like, as crazy as it is. The thing is, when you're doing like lawsuits, you're doing like custody cases, child support, any type of litigation, there's a term that people have heard a million times, but nobody really thinks about it. When you're putting your case together, you build a case. Stone by stone, brick by brick, mortar is built. A case is built. And the way you build a case, Robin could run like a masterclass on this shit because she is building a case against Cody. And his dumbass, yeah, I abandoned her. Yeah, I treated her wrong. Yeah, I came off nasty. Yeah, he has a murder face. Yeah, she right. I got a murder face. Oh, I'll be giving her a lot of attitude. I'm on screen apologizing for being mean and nasty to her. Technically, or you know what they call being mean and nasty to somebody that you're in a relationship with? Some parlance, they call that abuse, dumbass. Right? Got you flipping out, getting angry when you're having conversations, talk about you don't want to see some kids because they don't do what you want them to do, and you have her on tape talking about you got to be a part of your kid's life, Cody. You got to be a part of your kid's life. So now you're making it look like she's trying to encourage you to have relationships with your kids, and you're refusing to do it. So therefore, when she gets into her court case with you, she's going to say, I don't understand why he don't want to see those kids, but now all of a sudden he want to see my kids. It must be because he don't want to pay child support. Plus, they got you on tape lying about paying child support when Christine was leaving. Because it wasn't about you seeing the kid. They got you doing that shit. Again, there's an attorney who's ripping his hair out. He ripped his hair out. He bald-headed. He ripping the beard out of his face. I'm telling you. They got you on tape saying that you didn't want to pay child support. And you were willing to lie and say you have 50-50 custody for a child that lives hours. I think where Christine is to where Cody and them is, it's like 8 hours away. And you want to say that you have 50-50 custody because you didn't want to pay child support. Good luck on your next case, brother. Good luck on your next case. I'm just saying, Robin got you. And it's not even the fact that, see, here's the thing. And I say, like I said, Robin's not a dumb person. She's not brilliant, though. And here's the thing. Cody is just so bad. He's making her look smart. Can I say that one more time? Let me say that one more time. Cody is so bad at this. He's making Robin look like a brainiac. She looks like a genius. She didn't do this. He did this. He's like, let me carry them bricks for you to build your beautiful case. Are you insane? What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, man. Just give it away, brother. Just get a game away. We have a super chat from Perfumes Are Life. Let me say that more dramatic because I think it deserves it. Perfumes Are Life. With the $4.99 super chat. No message, just the love. Thank you so much, Perfumes Are Life. Perfumes Are Life. I love it. I love it. Let me give you a little something, something. One something, something coming right up. All right. Yeah, that whole thing, boy. Cody is messing up. Yeah, if you guys can hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. Somebody mentioned it. We got to like it on the likes. You guys could hit me with that like. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I just look. I'm watching this, and I know there's that. Like, and if you are like I said that Cody's attorney is sitting there pulling his hair out. If you Robin's attorney, oh, you salivating. You are salivating. Oh, I'm gonna tear his ass to pieces. Keep talking, keep talking. Put another camera in his face. That's another thing. And I even said that before, like, you know, like with that was said earlier about from Charisse when she was saying, Robin, you need to clock in. Robin might actually be paying the smart part. You know why? Because if you ever plan on doing any litigations, one of the bane of any litigation is you talking too damn much, especially with somebody with a camera in your face. Some you talking, running this mouth, and you jibber jabbing and saying a whole bunch of reckless ass shit, and you're on tape saying it, and it goes out on national TV. One of the smartest things Robin's doing, if she plans on divorcing Cody, is not talking about her relationship with Cody, but for to say that he was abusive to her and treating her nasty, treating her and her kids wrong. She felt like he was abandoning her and he wasn't doing the things that he needed to do for her, fulfilling her, and he wasn't really around for the kids. That's all she's really saying. But she's not saying that what she did wrong and mistakes she made. So like I said, her lawyer is probably sitting there like, you go, girl. Build that case. Keep building that case. We're going to get all the money. We're going to get the money and the house. We're going to get the money and the house. And we'll leave him alone. The crazy part is, because even to Candace's point, and we'll go to Rose. The crazy part is, as mad as he was with Christine, my man. First of all, let me tell you something. One, you got off lucky with Christine. Christine damn near wait till that child was like 16 years old before she tried to take you for child support. And she only hit you with child support for one of your kids. She could have, like, if she was really trying to get dusty on your ass, she could have hit you before Isabel graduated college or graduated high school, reached the age of majority. She could have hit you with Isabel's ass and got back child support for her too. Plus, like any surgery money that she put out for medical bills and stuff like that, at least hit your ass with at least half of it. At least half of it. At least half of it. Ew, she could have wrecked you, but she didn't try to wreck you. And that's why it's so weird to me that he's trying to make it sound like these women are so maniacal, evil, and like they ain't doing shit, bro. Let me tell you something, because you ain't been in the world. You're a rookie. Okay, you like talking to a small child. Let me tell you something. There's some ladies out here that will dust your pockets off. They'll hit you every which way. Like you go for a job, they'll be at that job interview asking how much you gonna get paid because they plan on putting it on their child support modification paperwork. Like they're serious about their business. There are women who are serious, deadly serious about that. And you go, oh, I had another child. None of my business. Better strap it up because my money ain't going down, son. They will hit you with everything. And then all of a sudden, your child be in daycare, doing football, baseball, basketball, all of it's club sports. They don't go to school shit where it's free. They doing everything they do costs $4,000-$5,000, and you got to cut a check every time you turn around. Every time you see them, you gonna have to have money in your pocket or money in your hand to give to them. These women didn't do you like that. They could have, but they didn't. Robin, I think she's the one. Robin's the one who's gonna be serious about her paper. I 100% believe that. Robin ain't gonna sit there and, well, you got to try to work it out as parents. And you do the best you can, and you come by and see them. That's all I want, for you to have a relationship with them. All Christine was asking you to do was have a relationship with Truly. She took you for child support because you wasn't trying to see Truly. If you would have brought Truly up to your house once a month for the weekend, cut one weekend out of the 4 weekends in a month, you'd have gave to Truly, there's a real possibility Christine never would have took you to court, dummy. You was big dummy. There's a real possibility Christine would have took you to court. Christine took you to court because you ain't want nothing to do with her daughter. And you were sitting up there running around with the other kids being happy and shit. So she wanted to make you pay. She wanted to make you suffer a little bit. That's why she took you. So yeah, my man. Rose 1. Here we go.
Hi, James. This is Rose. Um, First things first, I love Megatron. She cracks me up. You're my girl there, girl. Anyway, I'm a Mary fan. I love Mary because she's just like me. She's loyal, she's devoted, she loves her family, and even if they don't get along, she loves them, and she opened her wallet to anybody who needed help, even Christine and Janelle and Robin's kids. And of course all her kids. Um, she's got a heart of gold, just like you said, James. She's hard on the outside, but she's got a huge heart on the inside. Um, I'm just saying this because I feel bad what Janelle did to her, even if she didn't mean anything bad. I mean, talking to Cody about business when they all three of them are owners and not including Mary is not right. And that is just plain wrong. And I think Janelle uses Mary. She's only around when she needs something. Next message.
All right. So you got Mary fan, and like I don't know. Janelle's in a rough spot, Jack. That's why when he was like, "Oh yeah, she talking about quitting." You think? She's in a rough spot. This is like because you gotta be able to get up and with your whole chest deny this shit. Like you cannot. This is to the level where you can't play around with it. There's no skirting around the issue. You got to address it head on. And if you were a part of it, you got to admit your part in it. If you weren't, you have to flat out deny it. There's no in between. There's no like, oh, what's compliant really? You know, you gotta get in it. So, but let's go to Rose 2.
Hi, James. Rose again. Yeah, I think that was wrong what Janelle did. I think she only calls Mary when she needs help, like with the release thing. That was just wrong. She could have done it herself. Anyway, enough of that. Christine, I don't care for Christine, but I appreciate, when she says she doesn't really want Mary around, she stays away. They're kind when they meet each other, but Christine doesn't show up and to Mary and say, "Oh, can you do this for me?" And I need you to do that. She doesn't do that, and I appreciate that. So, that's just. And I was just listening to Brittany Love Brittany, not Brittany, and I agree. I think Cody is transphobic. Leon never had a chance, and it's too bad. I also think that if something happens to Cody, none of the original kids will get any inheritance. I think it'll all go to Robin and her kids. Just my thoughts. Thanks. Bye.
Rose, no lies detected. The shame of it is, I think that you're 100% right. Like when Cody's passes, he's gonna justify giving it all to Robin's kids by saying they were the only ones who were there for me. They were the only ones who really wanted to deal with me. So if they didn't want to follow my rules and respect me as a father, then they don't deserve my stuff. And that'll be the end of that. But the sad part is that what he doesn't realize is that the relationship that you have with your kids is invaluable. Like some relationships you have are invaluable. And so you saying that you're gonna deny them a few pennies, coins, shekels, dudas, or whatever the case. Like you plan on denying them any money or inheritance because you weren't around them, then in that situation, you lost more than they lost. Like, sure, you might have been able to give them something. They go on a nice vacation or pay some bills or maybe even purchase a home or get some property. But what they could have given you was life experience. They could have enhanced your life. And that's one of the things with having like kids, that's, and I won't say like every kid, because let's be honest, assholes come from somewhere. Like they aren't spawned. They come from somewhere. Sometimes decent people have asshole people. And so, not every child is every child. But as a general rule, one of the benefits of having children that you enjoy being around, is that they enhance your life. It's not so much because you have somebody that you're in charge of and you get to see your lineage pass on, and you get to think about the selfishness of, I get to last forever through my children and I made my mark on the world. No, it's you get to experience them. And they enhance your life through those experiences. They give you life experiences. And when you pass and your life flashes before your eyes, you know what you see? Life experiences. And if you have a lot of gaps, everybody else is looking, plane going down. Everybody else got a whole movie playing in their head about all the shit they're gonna miss with their kids and their family, and how it was so beautiful, and they're really gonna miss that, and that's why they cry. And you sitting there and all you got is a blank screen, or your shit look like the you got the little ticker that runs on a loading, like, what I mean? Because you trying to find a memory. Like, that's the difference. That's the subtle difference. So it's sad that he experienced that, and more importantly, it's sad that he's denying his kids the opportunity to experience him. But let's go to Rose 3.
Oops, sorry, James. One more, I guess.
No worries.
I was just thinking. They're saying Mary was really quiet about all that shit that Cody's pulling on her, but I think she's got a plan. I think she and Jana are going to write a book. I think she's like me. She keeps things, like, I'm a crier when I'm mad. I find it very hard to speak my mind. And I have a feeling she's like me. She's holding it all in and she's going to write it down. She's going to put it into words. And I think Cody will get his, because she's going to make money on this book, and he's going to lose his house, and he's going to lose everything. And she'll be, either way, she'll get what she deserves. She'll get money and she'll live happy. That is my thought. This for sure is the last one. Thanks, James. Bye.
Well, I hope that she finds happiness, and it's easier for us if she gets to rub Cody's face in it in the process, but ultimately it's about Mary finding happiness and finding joy in herself. And if she can find that, it does, like, I've always taken a position that, even though sometimes you want to do it yourself, revenge and stuff, like, the universe has a way of working itself out. Nature has a way of working itself out. Let it work itself out. You don't worry about it. You just worry about keeping yourself happy, yourself content, yourself moving forward, and you let it do what it do. Because at the end of the day, like I said, right now, as they walked away from the relationships, it seems like Cody is winning. It seems like he has an advantage because he has more stuff in his name. He has nicer shit at the house because he was able to take advantage of them. But in the long run, we'll see how they wind up. We'll see how everything ends and evens itself out. But let me just check real quick, because I think we had some super chats come in. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, we had Megatron's in the house. Oh, what's going on, Megatron? Megatron in the house with the $5 super chat. Uh-oh. We're gonna see what's going on with Megatron. Janelle in Greenville wonder why. Told you Megatron on that top rope. Janelle in Greenville wondering why she getting dirty looks at the folks at the Piggly Wiggly. Them country folk never forget the bad business practices. Helpful. The one wonderful thing about moving to a small town is that you're familiar with everybody. You may not know everybody, but you're familiar with everybody. And it's not a whole lot of secrets kept in small towns. The bad part of moving to a small town is you know everybody, and there's not a lot of secrets kept in small towns. So if you get involved with some bullshit, everybody knows that you was doing some shaky stuff. And if you were doing some suspect stuff, it can hurt you. In a small town, it can hurt you. Like if you in New York and you do some shady stuff, the people who know, maybe they friend group know that you did it to. If you in like Greenville, North Carolina, you do some shaky shit, places in Georgia that I know, you do some shaky stuff, everybody know you did it. You running around with somebody, wife or husband, everybody know who doing what with who. It's not a secret. Maybe the husband don't know yet, but everybody in town do because they going somewhere. They done been seen, creeping out the Greenleaf, the park or whatever. The car parked too long. Somebody seen them get in the car somewhere downtown. And then that's shooting all over town. You know who did what? You know what about this? So, yeah. Megatron's telling no lies. But let me give Megatron a little something. Let's get some hearts in the chat for support for Megatron and her family. Give Megatron a little something. My something was stalling out. Give Megatron some hearts in the chat. Why is my John? Uh-oh. Well, all right. I think I'm still live. Let me see. Let me can I get some ones in the chat? Make sure you guys can still hear me and see me. Because let me ask, can you still? Okay, I got some ones. Awesome. I don't know what's going on. Like my other interface isn't working. So it is what it is. But we're going to keep it pushing. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I was a little nervous. Like, what? Kremlins just got my ass. Megatron brought the Kremlins with her. Cody like, she ain't going to be talking shit. Janelle, baby. You be talking shit about me, Megatron. I'm going to shut this live down. Let me go back in. Hold on 1 second. We're going to shut this live down. We ain't going to have no trash talking about me. Not today, Satan. All right. I'm back, baby. I'm back. All right. We had another one from Megatron. Uh-oh. See what Megatron had cooking. Megatron with the $5 super chat. Cody and Robin fitting to write a book next. Gonna be like TT off of set it off. I need that money. Ain't help make a damn dime, but want more than the people that didn't do the work. Yeah, right. The people that did the work. You know what? That's true. Like I can see Cody and Robin, they gonna write a book, and they're gonna call a book just out of spite for a lot of the people who like the fan base and people who comment on the thing. Like we're saying that, we want to see the next spinoff of Sister Wives Surviving Polygamy or something like that. I can see Robin and Cody stealing that title. Don't be surprised if Robin and Cody steal that title and talk about how their love was born from the flames of polygamy, that they rose like a phoenix to the fiery love and burning desire, which is the marriage bond that kept them together. It'll be something ridiculous like that. And then even that, I wanted to do a video talking about Cody and his approach and his constant victimhood status. You know, because Cody's been playing a victim this whole time, and it's ridiculous. Like, you are not the victim. You are not no way are you the victim in this situation. Sorry, not sorry. You know what I mean? You are not even you are not even in the final heat of the oppression Olympics. Okay? You're not even in the final heat. You don't even qualify. Oh, I was the head of a family and I took these women for everything they worth. Then all of a sudden they decided they didn't want to be with me no more. Poor me. I got water screaming out of my face. Like, get out of here, brother. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Rain come out of my eyes. Like, get out of here, dude. That's not how it works. Nobody is for that foolishness. You are not a victim. You are not, oppressed in any way because you married these women, try to lock them up with marriage vows and a bullshit title that you got from church. You're my wife now. Up until the time, and you respected that, and it should be held higher than legal stuff because legal shit is just paperwork. There's oppression by the state that they trying to tell you who you can love because they don't really care about you. Up until the time they wanted to leave and do their own thing. Then as soon as they wanted to go, and they wanted to live their own life the best way they can and serve their own needs to find their own happiness, then all of a sudden it's all about paperwork and being legal beagle and what they can legally do and what they legally have rights to. Just saying. Like, keep it all the way in stack, playboy. You are not a victim. You are just a guy who is taking advantage of some women. You are planning your long-term goals on financially taking advantage of these women for a longer period of time than you. All right, this shit is getting a little crazy now, isn't it? Like, first one thing shut down and the other joint, what the shit? Yikes. What? Okay. I'm back now, I think. I don't know what is going on, y'all. I don't know what's happening. I never experienced nothing like this. Like, I'm getting it from YouTube and from my service. Ooh, I know my bills is paid. Like my girl from what do you call that? Big Sisters, 1,000 pound sisters. I pays my bills. My bills is paid. So I don't know why they try to play me short. All right, are we back? Let me see. Hey, that's still frozen. That's so weird. I'm gonna have to go in a different way. All right. I have to try something a little different because my whole shit just locked up. You know, work. Hello. All right. I'm kind of here. Hmm. Hold on one second. Hello? Damn. Do I sound kind of echoey? If you guys can hear an echo, just say echo. So just turn that off. Fiddly stick. Okay. Echo. Shit. All right. Let me. All right. All right. Let's still sound echoey? Yeah, I do. Oh, is it good or is it still echoey? All right. Let me see if I can rock this. All right. No echo. Awesome. So it's just on my side. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Ah, you see. Okay. Perfumes are life. 4.99 super chat. Echo works for there. Janelle signed an NDA. That's why she can only talk about Mary's old harmless stuff. Mm. Mary's got too grumpy to talk about what Janelle signed. Yeah, you know what? It would help too if the two of them actually had a conversation. But it sounds like either way, Mary believes that Janelle screwed her over, and that's always gonna create a problem. And a lot of it is the fact that Cody gets to take advantage or capitalize off the fact that the wives don't trust each other. But thank you so much for Fumes or Light. Uh, then we had hold on a second. We had Megatron once again with the $5 super chat. Mary was left. Mary was the first wife. She getting all that SSI when Cody leaves here, and she bet not share a damn dime. Not with Janelle, Christine, or Robin. Give them that same energy. She won't. She won't. It's a nice thought. Nice sentiment, Megatron. But yeah, she won't. She'll be right there. All of a sudden, it'll be Mary will be sitting somewhere and she'll get a phone call. Uh yeah, hi Mary. This is Robin. Just wanted to let you know Cody passed away. And Mary will be like, yeah, I know. I got a letter. Oh, really? Um, did you hear something from like Social Security or somewhere like that? They said they might have sent you something by mistake. Mary be like, yeah, they sent me something, but it wasn't a mistake. Do you think, because we have the little ones, and Cody had always promised that he would take care of them, and the Social Security money should kind of be theirs, you know? Don't you think that's fair? And if Mary was a real G, she'd be like, life is cold, hang up the phone. It's cold, cruel world out there. Got to do it on your own. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, baby. Let's get it popping. But she's not going to. Mary's gonna be, look, Robin, you call me, you reach out to me, and how our baby's doing. Maybe I can come by and visit sometime. Oh yeah, you should come by because the kids really miss you. Just make sure you bring the letter to sign documents and stuff. You can come see them, right? Because Mary had been asking to see them kids the whole time. I felt bad for her because she wanted to see them kids. She rented a house with a playground in the backyard. Grown ass daughter. Her daughter is, oh, I'm sorry, not daughter. Her child is grown. Mary's child is grown, grown. like grown, married, grown, right? Out the house, her own their own family grown. Mary rented a house with a playground in the back for Robin's kids. Robin's kids never saw that damn playground. I think we saw them play on the playground. They probably the only time they ever played on that playground. So, but I bet you money Robin will use the kids against Mary when it come time. Get that Social Security money, and Mary probably give it to him. Well, I'm gonna do it for the kids. And the whole time, Robin like, yep, because I got some jewelry to buy. Thank you so much, Megatron. Then we had Megatron with the $5 super chat. Cody and Robin fitting to write a book next. Gonna be like, TT off, set it off. I need that money. Ain't help make a dime, but you want more than people did that didn't work. I know I ain't do shit, but here's my story. That's basically what Robin's whole gig was in the first 2 seasons. She's never been a part of polygamous marriages or relationships, but she was the one that was telling everybody what it's like to be in a polygamous relationship and what it's like for a new wife to come into a family, even though she had never experienced a new wife coming into the family because she was the new wife coming into the family. Ah, let me give Megatron a little something. Then we had Jody Pierce Scholar with the 9.99 super chat. Can I can I ask you if you do this for a living, you spend tons of time giving us great community, plus real life advice and important takes of communication in general. Uh, do I do this for a living? No, I just enjoy what I do. I just enjoy what I do. And for the most part, I enjoy human interactions, human relationship dynamics, and things of that nature. I do have some education in social sciences, if that makes a difference. But yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I'm trying to get to heaven, I guess, like everybody else, and do the right thing by the people around me. Hopefully, something takes somebody gets something that they need. Like I've always found, just not even joking, like when I was a young man, story time. When I was a young man, there was a guy I used to talk to at my college because I'm a big mouth. I talk to everybody. I was talking to the security guard, and like I forget what I was going through, or some had me sad, or I was feeling kind of blue, and I was talking to this guy, and I can't remember what the advice was. I can see his face right now, but I just remembered that he changed the trajectory of my day, right? And the truth of it is that he never realized, to this day, I don't think he realized the impact that he had on me by doing that, but it was very impactful. And I think that those small moments that can make a difference for somebody. And if we can be there to give those moments to somebody, then, you know, I would rather have a legacy of that than to, even in Cody's case, have a legacy of being on a reality TV show, taking advantage of my family, not talking to my kids, not having people uh, who are benefiting from their interactions with me. I'd rather, I'd rather do this on YouTube than to be on TLC, you know, ostracizing people and destroying relationships. But thank you so much, Jody Periscala. Let me give you a little something, something. This echo on my side is crazy, y'all. I hope it's better on you guys' side. I do. All right. Let me let's get back to the speak point. Speak point. We have Anonymous up next. Anonymous.
Hello, this message is from Anonymous. It is kind of funny how when Coyote Pass was first purchased and Cody titled all of the properties, he titled them with Mary on 1/3 of a plot and Christine on 1/3 of a plot. Now he had Robin and him on a plot, the smaller one, and him and Janelle on a plot. So basically, the two wives he was seeing the least, or he had the most apprehension about leaving. That's why he didn't put everybody 20, or would have been 1/5 everybody at the time, or everybody's names on everything. 'Cause he already knew he was trying to get Mary out, and he was pretty sure he knew things weren't going great with Christine. And if down the road he kept ticking her off and not going to her house, she was going to leave. And Janelle knew that. She was on about 20, and then when Christine left and took her name off of that large plot, Janelle was still pretty okay. She had about 20% of it. The other thing that's funny.
Uh-oh. But let's just go right into the next message. 1 second.
Okay, this is anonymous. My name's DJam. So the other thing that was funny is that all this deflection tactics that Cody had when everybody was still there about splitting this Coyote Pass into 5 lots, Robin and Cody were getting the big lot. Janelle and Cody were getting the next biggest lot. And then he was going to do these little lot, little lot, little lot. He's getting a lot. Mary's getting this about 2-acre lot. And Christine's getting about 2-acre lot. Janelle saw that too. She's like, oh, I'm still sitting okay. Not quite up there with Robin, but, the 2 wives that he's coming and seeing that are still in good graces with him, we're still okay on that. So, she didn't fight or budge or get all up in angst about that because she was still sitting okay. The other 2, I don't know why they even ever sat there and listened to him on this 5-acre split thing that he always wanted to finagle. That was dumb.
Actually, that's one of the things that I think really comes out because you have wait, hold on 1 second. You have the wives when the OG3 we were originally talking about a spinoff. This is one of the things I was talking about because when you really step back and start looking at all the characters, you start to see stuff, and a lot of it's not as favorable as one might think. So it's a spinoff could be a very dangerous proposition for some of the even for like some of the OG3 members. It could be a very, very precarious situation. So, you know, you gotta be careful. Like, be careful what you ask for, because you might get your own show, and it just won't be as friendly as you think. So that's what to number 3. Wait, no, I'm wrong. There wasn't a number 3. But in spite of that, we're gonna go to Angie. We're gonna go to Angie. Where's Angie at? Oh, here she is.
Hey, James. Hey, everybody. This is Angie. There's so many things about this show that are so annoying. It's hard to just choose one thing to talk about. But what's bugging me right now, what I don't understand, is the conversation around Janelle and whether she was shady or not in the sale of this property. I don't understand what more was expected from her. We've seen her warn Mary. I don't think they're going to be fair with you. You need to lawyer up and watch your back on the sale of this property. And then we see Mary respond to that by running and tattling, kind of like a little kid on an elementary playground. And just she ran to Cody and Robin and threw Janelle right under the bus. At that point, I don't see where Janelle is under any obligation at all to further stick her neck out on behalf of Mary. I certainly wouldn't have done anything further. And I guess I just don't see what the fuss is about, whether or not there was a conversation on how we can get around Mary and go ahead and make the sale. It seems to me like Janelle did her part back when she said, hey, lawyer up, or I don't think you're going to be treated fairly. That seems like that filled the obligation to me. So I'm just, what am I not seeing? Thank you.
Well, here's the thing. Let me just turn that off real quick. Here's the thing. I think that it's not necessarily that Janelle is getting smashed because uh she was, even looking out for herself. I think that what makes it crazy is the person that she decided to align herself with. And that's where she's getting herself into some trouble, or she's having complications. Because, even if she betrayed Mary, you know, one could argue that that's par for the course. That this is just how the family culture worked. They betrayed each other. They looked out for their own. Mary went and tried to create a relationship with Cody and Robin behind Janelle's back, and she tried to use Janelle as a stepping stone to gain favor with Cody and Robin by saying, "Look, I'm on you guys' side because Janelle is telling me this stuff, and I'm here to dispel all that. So I'm on your side." Cool. But it's foolish because of, like I said, when Cody was working with, um when Cody presents this to Janelle, he's not presenting partnership to Janelle like, "Hey, why don't you join with me so we can get this done and we can make out, or even just the 2 of us make out." He did it with the sole intention of making sure that he had his scapegoat lined up. And Janelle, being involved with him for as many years as she's been involved with him, she still didn't see that. She still doesn't see that. Like, this whole time, he's been setting her up to take the fall for everything. The whole she's the financial advisor, knowing full well that she doesn't have any input. A financial advisor, the way he tried to say it, is somebody who was basically controlling the finances. She was dictating what was getting paid, what wasn't getting paid, where the money was going. That's what he said in season 19 when they asked what happened to all the money. Janelle had control of the money. That was words out of his mouth. Now, our impression has always been that Cody was controlling the money, that Cody was buying what he wanted to buy, and he was doing what he wanted to do. But when it came time to it, and they said, "Hey, a lot of the money showed up short, and why didn't you guys pay Coyote Pass off a long time ago with all the money that TLC's been paying? Why haven't you paid it all?" "Oh, Janelle's been wasting our money behind our backs. I don't know what she's been doing with it." That was Cody's position. So, and like I said, I understand that some people are gonna say, "Yeah, but she was in love with him, and yeah, she didn't really see it, and she was blinded by the love factor," all that. Okay, I get that, but at the same time, there are a few things that you cannot call me, and I'm saying this to James. There are things that you can't call me that we can come back from. You can't call me a thief, right? You cannot call me a thief. You can't say I'm stealing something from somebody or I'm trying to take advantage of somebody and I'm taking something that I ain't got no rights to. That to me, that's a lie. So, obviously, that's not the case with Janelle, but that would be a strong indicator that I can't trust this person. Especially if you're the one who's stealing the money and you turn around and try to say that I'm stealing the money. And so the fact that she aligned with him and she went along with him to screw over a person that she sought uh, companionship with, somebody who she brought in as a comrade, as a confidant, because she didn't go to marry. I mean, we're gonna keep it all the way a buck. Let's be all the way honest. Janelle didn't go to Mary because she was worried about Mary. Janelle went to Mary because she was trying to find an ally to fight against Cody and Robin. Full stop. She wasn't saying, "Oh, we being mistreated, we getting dogged out. This is stupid. Why are we doing this?" Because if she was that determinant of it, and that pure of heart, that thought, that pure of heart, then she would have insisted that Christine get a part of that damn land too. Because Cody had no rights to her house. Oh, the family bought the first down payment with the family fund that Christine had been contributing to. So you can't tell me that I'm using my money to pay my down payment, but somehow because I had to get my money from you, that somehow I owe you the money. And now you have ownership in my house. That's ridiculous. And she used some of her money to purchase part of County Pass. And so if she did that, why am I sitting here playing this game with you? Jeanette Christine walked away from that money, but Janelle could, like the same way they sat there and rallied and make sure everybody's shit is fair. Nobody was sitting up there saying, you know what, we need to cut Christine a check because she was part of this family. But everybody was okay with her walking off with her twos and fews because she was smart enough to buy a house when she didn't give her money to Cody so he could buy a house for himself. She took her money and bought a house for herself, or she took the family's money, bought a house for herself, and then turned around and repaid that money once her house sold. And then when you guys' houses sold, you gave your money to Cody, and Cody took your money and bought a house that he put into his and Robin's name. And then when you go back and try to complain about the fact that you don't have shit because you gave him money, and he looked you in the face and said, "That's Robin's house and that's her estate, and that has nothing to do with you," even though it was bought with your money, and you turn around and say that when we get to County Pass and it comes time to divide that land, I'm going to work with Mary up until the point that all of a sudden Cody feels the heat because you guys went out and hired lawyers. Before they hired lawyers, because Janelle did go to Mary and say, you need to hire a lawyer because she was looking for allies. When those two hired lawyers, all of a sudden, Cody all of a sudden came around to the idea that he was going to move on Southern County Pass. And that's also when they came up with the bright idea that they were going to buy another house to try to make. I think they bought the other house to try to make it more sketchy as far as being able to track, having a direct link back to the financial contribution that Janelle and Mary made to the McMahon. So they're trying to muddy the waters. That's why they bought a new house. No secrets. Right? This is in financial mastermind. And then when they hired lawyers, that's when Cody is trying to undermine the fact that you had attorneys. That's what it was about. And the fact that she fell for it, that's why so many people are upset with Janelle. It's not just the fact that the fact that she betrayed Mary, yes, but it's not just that. It's the fact that who she betrayed Mary for, you know? So I think that's why folks are looking at her like she she's a clown. That's why people are doing it. Because in that situation, you kind of just played yourself because you're kind of working with somebody who isn't worth the time for you to work with, and is already proven to be dishonest, already proven that they will throw you under the bus, and already proven that they're not loyal to you. But next up, we have anonymous. This was anonymous 3 that I called for before. Oh,
Last thing. So Janelle had no reason to speak to him. She supposedly had a lawyer. Let your lawyer do their job. Don't get caught up in this nonsense with Cody and giving him ideas that you're giving him the ideas your lawyer is trying to discuss with you. The other thing is, it would take years to sell, or at least a year to sell a lot that had Mary's name on it without her. That would be a definite long civil process. So that wasn't going to happen. One thing I'm bummed out on with Mary is when she got the divorce, she left Cody on the title of her Las Vegas home. Typically, when you get divorced, you have up to 3 years to get your spouse off the title. It gives one or the other party time to either buy another person out or agree on just, okay, hey, cut, you get the house, whatever. Why did she leave him on there to just take all that money? Crazy.
Not a bad, not a bad point. Just to touch base on one of the things that was brought up. If if you don't have Mary's permission, and she's listed on the one piece of property, if Cody sold all 4 plots, all 4 pieces of land, because that's what the offer was for, and he sold all 4 without Mary's permission or without even Robin's permission, according to Cody, the sale would be invalid. There's no valid sale. If you don't have everybody who is a owner on the sale, there it's not a valid sale. Like, the sale can't go through, and it would be crazy risky because, for one, especially if they were planning on doing any type of financing on that property, there's not a financial institution in the world that would lend you money on a property that has a shaky, at best, if not shady, title. Like, the title history is ridiculous because you don't have all the signatures on it. You don't have a official transfer of property from all owners in the property. So at any time, you could build a house up on that land. Mary could come back and sue you and take the damn land from your ass. I never signed off on that loan. Thanks for my house. You know, that's ridiculous. We all here squatters rights. You know, it is the only way you could do it is you would have to go to a court. You'd have to file what's called a partition, uh, you have to file a petition order, which is just basically the court telling them that in uh, one of the solutions that a court could have is that they could force you to sell the property, and that's what a petition order would do. It would force them to sell the property and dictate what the division is gonna be like, et cetera, et cetera. But that could take that process could take years because you have to prove it. Like, you have a right to do it, why you should be allowed to do it, why the other person is wrong, why they don't have a right to keep you from doing it. It's a mess. So, but, let's go to number 4.
Okay, and one of the people that is incredibly at fault for this family destruction is TLC. And the reason I say that is it's just astonishing to me that you can have 5 adults and you get one paycheck, and then one of the adults gets the power to disperse that paycheck. And how is this money getting dispersed? Like, is there some cash under the table? Is part of it income and you're taking out, do you have an HR person that's taking out Social Security? I mean, there is utterly no reason why you would have 5 adults on a job and only one of them gets paid. Cody could have decided not to pay what should be their 1/5 income all the time. And what kind of niceties did you have to do and be quiet and keep sweet to get your paycheck? That's ridiculous. You could not have me on a television show.
Oh, um, the one thing that I will say is that TLC can be blamed for a lot of stuff. How they got paid or where the money went once they got paid is not on TLC. That's 100% on the adults, on the OG3, Cody and Rob. What they did was they would each get their pay, whatever agreed amount that is, and they would issue those checks to the wives or whoever, and it could be deposited into the family account. In which case, Cody would take over the stewardship of the family account. But that's with the wives agreeing, or if Cody, because he had Cody Brown Entertainment LLC, which technically could be a management company. Like for instance, if there's some management talent relationships where you basically like through your manager, they would negotiate on your behalf. They could talk to casting or production teams or whatever the case may be to negotiate uh, amenities, salary, benefits, that kind of thing. And when all is said and done, you sign a document basically saying to the production company that you want your manager to get your paycheck. So the check comes to your manager. They can deduct their their uh, their percentage that they take because nothing's free. They're paid service, and so they deduct their part. Then they issue you a check, right? At the end of the year, when you get your W-2, or technically, yeah, when you get your W-2, because it technically you still would be a W-2, even though it's you would be considered a contractor, because that's what they are. They're contractors. They're independent contractors. So they technically are not. They don't work for TLC. They work with TLC, but they don't work for TLC. So even in that case, they're not like they wouldn't qualify for unemployment because they don't work for TLC. TLC would take out taxes, federal taxes. They could take out state and local, depending on how they're set up and how they get paid. State taxes typically will come out. Local taxes, you may have to save and pay yourself. Like for instance, when you hear about rappers or entertainers, actors getting in trouble with the IRS, it's the way they get paid. When you get paid at a normal job, your boss or your employer takes out all that stuff for you. So whatever you get is your money, right? For the most part. When you work entertainment, this kind of thing, or you have these kind of jobs and roles, you get a check, you're responsible for your taxes. They might not take out enough. They might not take out taxes at all. In which case, when when they report to the IRS, they report to the IRS too what they paid you because you are a liability. When they report to the IRS how much they paid you, the IRS knows how much you got paid. And so when you send in your taxes and they say, "Oh, you got paid almost $1 million," we looking at your deduction sheet. You don't have a whole lot of deductions. So therefore, you're at a certain percentile as far as how much you owe as far as taxes are concerned. You have to cut us a check. So when you do your taxes, you gotta stroke out a check to the IRS. Then you gotta stroke out a check to your state. You gotta stroke out a check to your local government, and it's just how it works. So in that respect, you know, it's on the adults. Like, I don't wanna be asked about it, but it's really on Christine, Mary, Janelle, Robin, and Cody because they agreed to put their money into this one bank account. It's almost like if you're married or you have a boyfriend or girlfriend and you go to work and you use your boyfriend or girlfriend's account to have your check uh, automatically deposited into on payday, that's not your boss's responsibility to make sure, hey, this is kind of dumb that you've given all your money to your girlfriend who you know for 2 weeks. You got your whole paycheck going into her bank account or bank account with her name on it. That's not the smartest thing in the world. That's on you. you know, and that's all TLC would say. That's on them. Because otherwise, I mean, if you think about it, if their relationship, because the other part of it is, if their relationships were as they described it, how wrong would TLC be if they said, no, we're not going to send your checks to your family? You know, because they presented that they work as a family, they work all together as a family. But, you know, I hear your point, though. I hear your point. It's crazy. It is crazy. But next up, we have Anonymous 4.
Okay, and one of the people that is incredibly at fault for this.
Oh, we just went through that. Sorry about that. Next up, we have Tanya Carter.
Okay, so first of all, these people get on my nerves, including Sukiana. She needs to be fired. The icebreakers are dumb. Why are we doing icebreakers? None of them have a hidden talent, and we don't care. The only one I'll give him credit where credit is due. Cody being able to do a handstand and walk on his hands is actually kind of cool because a lot of people can't do that, and that is a talent. The rest of them are full of shit. Okay. Janelle cannot play the piano. To sit there and be like, I can play the piano, and you can play chopsticks like every other fucking person as a child could play chopsticks. I knew she was lying. And whenever they panned to her at home and she was like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Because you don't know how to play the piano. You never did. Stop it. Stop it. Robin, my hidden talent is breakdancing. Girl, please. That one video of you breakdancing, you weren't breakdancing. You never knew how to breakdance. That's not breakdancing. They all piss me off. They really, really do. Christine, I wouldn't call that a talent. Can she sing like Snow White? Yes. The way Snow White and them sang in those old cartoons was kind of weird. And yes, she did sound like her. But I'm gonna run out of time. I'll have to do a second one. They all get on.
I agree. Well, especially as far as the icebreakers were concerned, I clocked that, and it was out of a 45-minute show, 50-minute show, 15 minutes were dedicated to that dumb shit. And then you guys are going to get to the point where at the end of the show, you're going to sit there and talk about, oh, it's so ridiculous. We couldn't have enough time to talk about all the stuff we were supposed to talk about. What a shame. Yeah, if you would have cut out all that dumb shit, you could have talked about more stuff. You could ask better follow-up questions. You could get into more information. And even as far as like the icebreakers are when you don't know the people. We're going to introduce you. We're going to kind of walk you into it slowly. We already know who you are. You brag about being on a show for 20 seasons. So we know who you are. The people who watch the show are the only people watching the damn hello. Let's be frank. At this point, you're not getting new viewers into the Sister Wife lexicon. You're bleeding off viewers that you've had for years, but you're not getting new ones. So there's no point in you doing like let's do a little cutesy tell-all trying to make everybody friendly looking. Blah blah blah. Like people who like who they like, they don't like who they don't like. And you doing icebreakers is only going to annoy folks, right? Especially when they say like, let's get right into it because we have so much to cover and so much to talk about. Let's talk about it. So, and to be honest with you, this takes it to the next step where they have to start being serious, more serious about what it is they're talking about. And I'm going to go into it, like I said, in the video I plan on releasing tomorrow, about things that they have to start doing if they want this show to survive. Okay? There's things they have to start doing if they want this show to survive. But let's go to Tanya Carter part 2. Well, before we do that, Megatron dropped another super chat. You want to Megatron with the $2 super chat said, I'm so sick of hearing the word County Pass. Because that's all they got, Megatron. What are we doing? That's all they got. That's why they have to focus so much on an issue and a property that they've been dragging out for years. That's why, because they don't have shit else going on this show. And again, we're going to talk about it tomorrow. But thank you so much, Megatron. Appreciate it. get back to the after these messages. We'll be right back. All right, next we go to Tanya Carter part 2.
So I just had to vent on that one. But seriously now, I don't think that Janelle is. She didn't clear her name for me. Do I think there was a backdoor deal? No, I don't. I think that that whole backdoor deal thing came up because Cody and Robin knew that once all the documents were signed and everything was out there for the public, that everyone was going to see that Robin is the one that held out. And so they had to come up with some sort of story to tell us, the viewers, so that we weren't like, oh, Robin was trying to play some games. And just like you being the smart man that you are, and other people being smart, knew that Robin held out because Robin wanted her to sign, Robin and Cody wanted her to sign an NDA and some other stuff, basically saying you can't try and take us for the money that you put into our house, and you can't, Robin probably added this in, you can't talk shit about me and say anything bad about me. And so they went ahead and decided, okay, this plan that we're going to come up with for why Robin was holding out is because Janelle had a backdoor deal going on because she was trying to, get the money from Mary or whatever. And Robin, we're going to say that you were standing in the way of that happening because you wanted it to be fair, which makes no fucking sense. And then for them to come back and be like, Suki, who's getting on my fucking...
Hold on a second. Go right to the next one.
And then for Suki to come back with the foolishness and ask Robin, well, Janelle said that you try to have a power play. Here's how you know it was a damn lie. Here's how you know what I said before is what happened and what they were trying to cover up. Because Robin, once they come up with, her and Cody come up with a story, like Robin sticks to that story no matter how much sense it doesn't make. So when she says, oh, Janelle says that you were trying to do a power play, well, she would only say that because of her backdoor deal. Robin, that doesn't even make any damn sense. She would say that you were doing a power play by coming in and not signing unless everybody signed documents and disclosures and all kind of stuff. And she said that you did that because of her covering up her backdoor deal. What are you talking about? Robin gets on my nerves. Robin and Cody get on my nerves, but Robin, oh my God.
There you go. Robin, get on that damn nerves. Too much. Too much. Robin can't be contained. Yeah, that is a good point though. Because with like Robin and Cody very well may have noticed that they had to come up with something to explain why it took Robin so long to sign the documents. Especially like I've said it before, especially if you miss, I want to make sure everything is perfectly fair and I'm not signing nothing until it's fair. How does that work? Because the easiest way for you to make sure it's fair is for you to evenly divide the land and sign off on the agreement to evenly divide the land. Then, no matter what happens, Mary has legal protections. If you signed off on it, Robin, Mary would have legal protections. And that's what you were holding over her head. That's what you were trying to extort her with. And I think that part of the reason why Robin is coming off so angry and so short in the tell all is because she realizes that she got played. For once, Mary turned it around. And the crazy part is, again, this isn't like a master mold, like I'm trying to figure stuff out because my name is Mephisto. Like, it's not that. Like, this isn't, some Machiavellian scheme or plot that Mary was able to pull off. Mary was successful because she simply stood up for herself. I want them to, like, if this will be a moment where if I was her friend, I would say, Mary, pause, take a breath, let's look at what just happened. You stuck up for yourself and things worked out for you. You didn't need somebody to come and save you. You didn't have to go back and beg somebody to do the right thing for you. You stood up for yourself. You stood 10 toes down on your business, and you were able to get the result that you wanted because you said something. You used your mouth for something other than trying to be keep shut and keep a smile on it. You actually spoke your mind, said your piece, you stood up for yourself, and you were able to get the things that you needed out of the situation. As opposed to you smiling and going along with everything that they want done. And then at the end of the day, you're sitting there begging somebody else to give you justice, begging somebody else to take care of you, begging somebody else to do something for you that you should expect to have done because you have every right to have an expectation that if I give you money, you're going to give me that money back. But you put yourself in a situation where legally it's very difficult for you to attain that objective because you don't have any rights. And that's what I'm saying. Like she stood up for herself, and that's why she was successful. But at the same time, again, Tanya makes a good point. The only reason why it would make sense for Cody and Robin to be so adamant, especially from like if you put in to account, let's put it in the mix. You have two people who are so adamant that we need to stop talking shit about each other. But Cody had no problem just napalming every chance he got. He talked about that backdoor deal. If I was ashamed, I would be ashamed. If I was a part of that and I was trying to do that to somebody, I would be ashamed. I would be too ashamed to talk about how I tried to do a backdoor deal and rip somebody off for some land. I would be ashamed. Even if I had every right to, let's pretend. He had every right to do it. I would still be embarrassed and ashamed that I even thought about doing it or I even attempted to do it. I certainly wouldn't get on national TV and admit that I did it. Right? I wouldn't even admit that shit in a room by myself in a closed room, windows closed, there by myself alone. I would never say that shit out loud to myself. I most certainly wouldn't get on TV and keep saying it over and over and over and over and over again. Because no matter how Cody tries to blame Janelle in that situation, you still look like a piece of shit because you were going along with it and you were entertaining it. And in Janelle's case, what makes her look bad is that even if Cody was the one who brought it up to her, what makes her look bad is the fact that he brought it up to you and you didn't give him any pushback. The pushback is, what the hell are you talking about? I'm not signing off on that. If you want to get sued, you go right ahead. Have a good time with that. But I'm not signing off on that shit. And if you want to hold on selling land, then what are we going to do? If I have to go down and put in some paperwork to sue your ass, I'm putting in for everything. I'm swinging for the fences. Then let the judge tell me, like, because I know you go down and you talk to an attorney, and the attorney gonna tell you that you don't have a right to do this, you don't have a right to do that. Okay, fine. Fuck it. I want to hear the judge say it. I want a judge to tell me I can't do some stuff. That's what I want to have happen. I want a judge to tell me. But uh, let's go to. Do we do Tanya Carter 4? Try Tanya Carter 4.
And lastly, I promise this is it. Why are we? Everybody lives all over the country now. Why are we still doing all the tell-alls in Arizona? Why are we catering to Robin and Cody? And I know, James, I can already hear you saying because the whole show was supposed to be about them. But it pisses me off. Why is everybody traveling across the country to come to Arizona so that Cody and Robin can just walk out in their backyard onto the tell-all? Like, I can't with these two. And they're the only ones packing a cooler like they're taking a long trip. You're going 30 minutes up the road. Everybody else is taking a road trip and isn't packing $300 coolers. Make it make sense.
I agree with that though, because despite whether the show was organized for Cody and Robin from the beginning or onset, at the end of the day, we gotta work with what we got. And the problem that they have is that technically there's no central part or portion for the cast. So they started in Arizona. I guess the last time they were all together, they were in Arizona. So you could make that argument. Uh, Christine and David, I think they own land in Scottsdale, if I'm not mistaken. I think they own a house in Scottsdale or close to it. So they could go to their other location. Janelle would be the odd man out. Mary is in Utah, so she's not that far. So, but I mean, I understand the sentiment, what you're saying. And just on principle, I don't think it's appropriate. What the heck? Let's try it this way. 1 second, guys. All right. So let me go to the very next message. We have, remember I said UK Michelle had another one? Here it is.
Let's face it, she didn't have anyone's back. The only thing Robin had was their PIN number. Don't get it twisted. Karma knows the address. And well, let's face it, with all the money they're allegedly taking out in loans on the property, they ain't gonna have that place long. And Robin will be off into the sunset with the kids. Cody won't get to see those kids either. And she'll marry one of these supposedly proposals that she had in the past. I can't wait. Maybe that makes me a terrible human being, but hey, the subject matter puts me in good company, doesn't it? Anyway, love you, James. Enough love and respect to the Mega Mod crew. We love you guys. Thank you for everything you all do as a collective. And I'll get my sorry backside out of here now. Take care. Love you guys. Bye.
Awesomeness. Well, Michelle actually had a message before that. Let me play that one now.
Hi, James. It's UK Michelle here. First of all, can we all agree that Cody needs to get off the cross? Someone else needs the wood. And that wood could go towards building a bridge with human beings. Not at all the kind of thing that he behaves like. I was furious when I heard him call himself benevolent. Let's not forget whose money really paid the Coyote Pass. You're lucky that you got a dime out of that, you arrogant, twisted nugget. I am furious. I am so angry. Seriously. How dare he rip off those women and all their hard work and the hours when they were slogging their guts out, and him and his queen in her ivory tower take all their money, finagle everything, and then act like they're giving them something. You would have nothing, Cody Brown, if it wasn't for your first 3 wives, because let's face it, the wife you have currently won't be staying long once the checks don't run. Let's face it.
There it is. So once that money stopped, the loving stopped. It was that love don't live here anymore. Love don't live here anymore. Got a new address. Next up, we got Mary.
Hey, James, this is Mary. Hey, I'm just going to go off on these women. I think I have to pull out my inner Daisy or Linda or something, but you cannot tell me that Janelle's mother went up there to Wyoming and she went there in the hopes to talk Janelle out of joining this polygamous family. She falls in love with Cody's dad. She knew 1 iota, nothing about polygamy, and she decides that she's going to go for this. You can't tell me that woman didn't want the man. Then, Janelle, what does she do? She's off on the sly with Cody. Janelle comes to Cody's house wearing a cowboy outfit, knowing Cody would like that. Knocks on the door. Cody goes out. She asks to join that family. Again, she's bypassing Mary. She could care less about Mary. And you can't tell me she did care. Then what was going on January 1 or whatever day she wanted to marry on Mary's birthday? Why would a woman need to get married on that day? Well, James, there's only one reason, if you can ask me. I think it's F and find out, but I could be 100% wrong. Sorry I threw that out there, but I'm sorry, Janelle. Why would you have a need to get married on Mary's birthday? There's only one other reason for that. Okay, I'm going to have to go to part 2. Just a minute.
You guys see? There we go. I think that worked. Okay. I don't know. This whole thing is acting weird. This whole thing's been screwy tonight. We had another super chat come in. Julianne Kinkle with the $4.99 super chat. Said, Cody big stack of clothes so he can stay the clothes stay the clothes were for TV and on TV and wrote them all off on his taxes. I believe that. These outfits were for filming. Yeah, they were expenses. But see, the crazy thing is, because I've written stuff off like that. That shit is hard to claim. It's not as easy as just write it off with your tax. Like, oh, I used this suit because I was. It has to be something like uniforms that you would get from like doing jobs. Like if you work at Walmart or Target, um, or McDonald's, somewhere where they have uniform to wear like a, you can't basically wear that to the club, right? You're able to write that kind of thing off on taxes. It's very difficult for you to write clothes and outfits and suits off your taxes because that's things that you can wear in your personal life. So even if you wore it for, say, like, I bought this so I could appear on television. You can write it off on your taxes, but at the same time, you would have to show a need for it. And if an IRS agent ever got a little, interested and really looked at it, it could be problems. Like they could ask you to bring in like requirements because that's also part of it too. It's not like, oh, I bought this for television because I wanted to have something for television. It has to be a requirement for your job, something that you have to do for your job. So it could get crazy. But good point. Let me give you a little something, something. Uh, we had one from Ty with the $5 super chat. Said, y'all, this show is over. I would say ratings will go up if Robin Hood leaves Dirty Cody, but I don't know if viewership cares. There's no backdoor deal, by the way. There you go. Yeah, I don't know if Robin left Cody, what would we really be watching? Cody and Robin brooding, you know, Cody brooding, Robin crying, and talk about how much they loved each other and how heartbroken they are that their relationship does. Would you guys really care? Like that's the question that we would have to ask. But thank you so much, Ty. Ty with the $2 super chat said, having a great time. Hit that like button, please. Yes, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Give Ty a round of applause for that. Thank you so much. Ty was like, there ain't no dang old backdoor deal. Julian Kinkle, we just read Julian Kinkle. Thank you so much, Julian Kinkle. All right, let's go back to the speak pipe. Speak pipe. Uh, got Mary Mama. Mary, once again, about to say a whole government, James Stitches gives stitches, player. Tighten it up.
Hi, James. Part two. Um, okay, next comes Christine. You can't tell me Christine cared two F's about this damn family. Again, what does she do? She bypasses Mary and Janelle, and she goes and talks to Cody and asks to join this family. Not only that, how I know Christine cared two F's. Who marries a man when the woman is 7 months pregnant? Christine knew full well coming into a family, she was going to be taking time, resources, energy away from that child. You can't tell me Christine was all about this family when she's joining a family when a pregnant woman is 7 months along. She knew what she was taking away from all of them and she could care less. So did Christine want the man? Hell to the yes. She wanted the man. So again, what does Robin do? Zach, same as Christine. Christine's pregnant and Karma comes around crazy like no other. And here's Robin marrying while Christine's pregnant. So did Robin care two F's about any of these three women? Hell to the no. Maybe Mary said yes, but Christine and Janelle, I've never heard them say yes to bringing Robin into the family, and Cody could have cared less anyway. So none of these women wanted polygamy. They wanted the man, and that's what they went after. And that is how this all have ended up the way it is. Let me know what you think, James.
Well, I think that you did a very succinct job of starting to debunk a lot of the sister wife ethos. That's one of the challenges. Again, this goes back to my whole thing about like the idea of the spinoff that when you step back, especially remove Cody and Robin and their issues, you start to see a lot of things and start to ask a lot of questions that I don't know if the cast members are ready to answer. So it could get sticky, son. It could get sticky. Uh, Mary 3.
Hey, James. Part three. Okay, so Cody never trusted these women. He trusted them even less when they left him. So you can bet Cody and Robin were only going off from the advices of their own lawyer. There is no way Cody was taking advice from Janelle or any other wife. They were going off the advice of lawyers. Cody was stalling about getting the land resurveyed, all of that. Why? Because he knew full well what those numbers were going to come in as, because he was going off the advice of his lawyers and other land experts for the value of that land. So I have absolutely no idea why these effing people sit up here and lie and lie and lie. This has got to be the most insanity thing. No wonder Cody has failed businesses. Nobody can trust him because he lies right to their face. He lies right to the camera, lies to wives' face and children's faces. This whole family needs to get a goddamn reality check and stop lying. For once, can you say 2026 you're going to stop lying to everybody in the world? I don't know. But anyway, this is just awful. I can't take it anymore. I don't know how anyone could look them in the face and even say they're even a mother. No mother. No, none of these people lie to whole bunch groups of people. This is insane. Anyway, James, let me know what you think.
Man, what I think is Mary fired up. What I think, Mary is PO'd. Mary is not happy. When Mama not happy, nobody happy. I think that one of the things that is most damaging to a reality show is like reality shows are there's a certain level of truth and trust that has to go into a reality show because that's what we're watching. That's what we pay to see. We pay to see a real life experience, and we understand that some things are put together. Some things are basically maybe reimagined, if not reenacted. But underneath all of it, there should be a segment of truth. And one of the biggest problems that they have in the show right now, as it currently sits, is they're losing credibility because everybody wants to be a hero and they're so busy trying to lie to maintain that perfect image that nobody believes you have anyway. Let me say that one more again. They're lying to protect a perfect image that nobody believes they have anyway. So you telling stories about how perfect your life is and how wonderful your life is and how awesome your life is, nobody believes you. Nobody believed you when you said that you have 4 wives and you treat them all equally. Nobody believes you that when you said that you were spending equal time with all your people, all your kids. There's no way you could be spending equal time, especially if you're over at one wife's house. It's just not possible. So a lot of the stuff that they were saying just wasn't panning out to be true. And I'm not saying that, every polygamous family is doing it just like the Brown family and they can't do it because it's impossible to do. What I am saying is that one is very difficult. I think that there's a difficulty level, absolutely. But two, I think it requires time management. I think it requires your ability to be able to work with people. I think it requires a certain level of compassion, empathy, sympathy. You have to be able to put yourself in other people's shoes. You have to be able to understand folks. You have to understand interpersonal dynamics. There's a lot of balls to be juggled in this type of situation. And in this particular case, I didn't see where Cody ever exhibited the skills to balance any of that. And with the wives standing there supporting him in that lie, you also take on the banner and the scourge and plague of being a liar as well. So I think that's part of the problem. But thank you, Mary. We have one more from Mary. Then we have Danny and that'll be Danny, Amy, Danny, and Jenny. All right. Sorry about that.
Okay, James. Sorry, this is my last one. I'm going to go as fast as I can. Um, I am so surprised that these 5 individuals have not been taken through the cleaners and they're not living under a box under a bridge, because the unintelligence of all 5 of these is shown. It's shown more every single day, but it's a miracle they have not been taken through the cleaners and have had to declare bankruptcy more than they all already have. I mean, the gullibility of them is just shining through. Mary can't see, sunshine when it's bright outside. She can't see the nuances. She can't think for herself and try to reason it through. And that's why she really needs to get off her high horse, get out of that cult, and get some trauma therapy to help you look at things, turn off your heart, you turn on your brain, and you start thinking through things logically, or do it with a whiteboard and a therapist or something like that. But she has to see Janelle only had her best interest at heart. Janelle said when Mary married Cody and when that divorce went through, she always could count on Mary to be fair with no matter what would happen with that family. So Janelle was not doing any backdoor deal. Well, let me know what you think.
Well, what I think is typically just what I've been saying the whole time, that I don't think that there was a backdoor deal because I don't think there was a backdoor deal to be made. What I do think is I think Cody and Robin tried to implicate Janelle into uh, being a, a, into a situation where she looks nefarious for plotting with Cody, and it thereby gives Cody and Robin the opportunity to blame Janelle. Now, it's very possible that Janelle maybe had no intention of doing a backdoor deal with Cody, but she didn't shoot him down for the backdoor deal. Like, she didn't come out and say, "Oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. If you fuck out my face with that," or whatever. She never said that. You understand what I mean? And because she never denied it outright, now she has to walk it back because you can't play, there's something I used to say to my kids all the time that almost ad nauseam, the kids get tired of hearing it. But what I used to say to them actually came from is Joaquin Phoenix. He was playing in a movie called 8 with Nicolas Cage, and it's a pretty decent movie. A little hard to watch, but because it deals with some crazy subject matter. But one of the things that Joaquin Phoenix said to Nicolas Cage is they started to devolve into this very twisted world uh, to find this missing young lady. Is that Joaquin Phoenix said to Nicolas Cage, "When you dance with the devil, you don't change the devil changes you." And I say that like I can twist it in a couple different ways. I could spin it in a couple different ways. But in this particular instance, when Janelle flirted with Cody, and maybe she tried to play the business person where she wasn't shooting him down, but she didn't say yes, and she just wanted to keep the conversation going because she needed to sell the property, and Cody was finally coming around to selling the property. Her compliance to the backdoor deal might be something as simple as she didn't shoot it down. She didn't say no. She didn't say we have to take this off the table because I absolutely will not do it. And in that silence is complicity as far as uh, Cody is concerned, as far as Robin is concerned. And it falls into a position where if Janelle's trying to be honest, she can't say, "Oh, I was never going to do it," or "I'd never." There was no backdoor deal. That might be honest, but there was a discussion of a backdoor deal. There was a conversation that was held. Janelle has acknowledged that there was a conversation. So if she's acknowledging that there was a conversation, the thing that I will be listening for is for her to say that I absolutely not would not do it, but I absolutely told him to get bent. If you want to do that, you're doing it without me because I'm not doing it, and stand on principle that way. And I think that's what people were looking for. But that's my take on that. Next up, we have Danny Towns left a message. Let's check Danny out.
Hi, James and my take on reality sister friends. It's your girl Danny calling in. Quick question. Have you checked out Dr. Adam, the Sister Wives professor on Spotify or Patreon? He does a great job breaking things down as a communications professor and actually provides context. And he's clearly watched the show, which matters. His interview with Suki was especially eye-opening. She explains that the cast decides who interviews them, so she can't push too hard or ask crazy questions or she won't be asked back. She also confirms that Cody is neurodivergent and shares that Mary was one of her hardest interviews in past seasons. Lastly, on Janelle, Dr. Adams suggested, and I agree, that she likely spoke with her lawyers and shared what they told her with Cody, but not to undercut Mary. Why would Janelle tell Mary to get a lawyer and then turn around and sabotage her? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't track. I think Janelle still has a soft spot for Cody and talks freely, forgetting he goes home and repeats everything to someone else. Oh, and Suki confirmed they all read the socials. Good to know. Hi, Robin. Just kidding. Love you guys. Thanks for the space.
All right, all right. There's Danny Towns coming in. Sounds so professional. Get out of here, Danny Towns. Sounding so professional. All right, but I've not heard of that person. I'll check him out. Let you guys know what I think. But I mean, I will say this. I understand that Suki can't ask the hard questions because she's on a leash. But you know, I think that there's an understanding. This is kind of where I was before, with people would say, James, you gotta understand how they were raised or where they come from, or blah blah blah. I get that. And I can also understand that Suki can't ask crazy questions or questions that Cody might find offensive or too hard because she would lose her job. At the same time, I'm not going to not say something because in my silence, as I was talking about with Janelle previously, in my silence is complicity. So no, I'm not going as a fan scream out loudly and clearly that you want Suki to be more aggressive with her questioning, that you're demanding that Cody and Robin be held accountable for things that come up during the course of the show, that all the cast members have to answer difficult questions, that this isn't powder puff season, that we're not giving our time, energy, and everything else to watch a show that's about nothing. So if you want to put that out, if you want to continue to participate in the show and you want us to watch it, then we have demands too. You don't just get to serve us whatever you want us to watch, and we sit there and just watch it because you put it out there on TV. You got to give us something that we actually want to see. If you want to do the tell-alls, you want to do the one-on-ones, you want to keep your job, then you have to give the people what they want. You can't just sit there and say, well, I can't do nothing because the boss won't let me do it. That's fine. then I'm not talking to you, Suki, because you're not the boss. I'm talking to your boss. I'm talking to your boss. When I criticize how you come off on the show, I'm talking to your boss. When I say that Cody has to answer difficult questions, I'm not just saying that because you need to ask him harder questions. I'm saying that because the when you ask him the questions, the production team, the showrunners, and the people involved have to be willing to take you back and back you up and say, look, if you guys can't answer questions, you don't need a check from us. If you don't want to come, if you don't want to participate in the questions that we have for you, then you don't want to check from us. Just say I quit. And you don't have to worry about answering any more questions. You got to worry about showing up no more. Don't worry about it. It's cool. And I think that's the point. That's the point. So, I mean, I feel for Suki. Like I said, I understand you don't want that good check to stop. You know, I get it. I get it. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and just pretend like because that's the burden that you have to carry that I'm not going to insist that TLC doesn't make it worthwhile for us to watch. Because again, Suki's um, job in this scenario, in this situation, is Suki is asking questions. She's our avatar. As an audience member, she's the audience member avatar. She's supposed to be asking questions about things that we're curious about. She's supposed to be making commentary on the things that we wish we could say to them. And the best way for you to do that, check the socials, check the YouTube react, check the articles, check the comment sections, see what the fans of the show are talking about, and respond accordingly. And if you're not doing that beyond Suki TLC, you're failing. You're failing. Point blank. Because you hear the people who are calling, leaving messages. Read through my chat. Read through my comment section. People are getting tired of watching this show. So you can sit there and save your job. You save your job for another season, but you won't be on next season or the season after next. Because you cannot keep this, you cannot sustain this. It's unsustainable. It's unsustainable. Next up, we got Jenny in the house. Great job, Jenny. Got Jenny in the house.
Hello, James. This is Jenny. This is my statement. Cody's statement that he would sell the property and distribute as he deemed appropriate is why this culture doesn't work. He is no different than any other man in polygamy that controls his wives. It makes it impossible for them to leave the situation. If I was interviewing, the question would be, isn't your statement, Cody, the very stereotype that you were trying to overcome in joining this show? Are you saying that as the patriarch, the women who contribute to the household, whether by financially or any other means, don't deserve a fair and equal share?
Oh my gosh. I was on mute this whole time. My goodness. Ugh. Oh, so ridiculous. The whole thing is this. Uh, oh, want to cry. The whole thing is this. This. whole night has been challenging. Um, it comes down to simply this: I'll give you the long short of it. The long short of it is Cody has spent the first 2 seasons or first, you know, 10, 15 seasons of this show, or really 10, 8 seasons of this show trying to tell us that he was different. He's a different kind of polygamist. He's different than FLDS, Warren Jeffs. He's different than the Kingston group. He's different. They have a different form of polygamy. Their form of polygamy is so much better. And guys, it's just like your relationships, except for it's a little more complex because I stack layer on top of layer, but I love everybody. And it's so amazing. But by the time he got to season 9, when Mary had the catfish and it was exposed that he wasn't spending no time with Mary, basically abandoned her. And then by the time he gets to season 16, all the way to season 20, by the time Mary, Christine, and Janelle had already left, he had proven that he is no different than the other groups he had criticized before. He had said that I'm the exception to the rule. No, my friend, you're an example of the rule. You're an example of the stereotype that people have forced upon the polygamous groups since the beginning of time. That you always come in with the flowery words and the pretty things, and you try to make it sound like it's a wonderful opportunity for you to be a part of, and then you turn on the women when it's time for the relationships start to sour, they start to get older, or you find something new that you want to play with. Then all of a sudden, those women who had been there and invested in you and your family get cast aside because they're worthless at that point. They're simply trash and rubbish that you're trying to kick rocks and get rid of. And that's all it came down to. So, from that respect, it's very difficult to appreciate and respect you in that situation. Uh, how long was I muted? That's what I'm curious about. Was I muted even when I was talking about Danny? Hmm, I hope not. But let's go to let's go to uh Ann. This is our last caller. We have Ann in the house.
Hey, James and family. I've got a couple of takes. This is Anne, and I was watching another YouTube channel, and they said that they had a snip of Mary um, with her friend, whatever her name is again, Jen. She said that, and both of them said over and over again that the timelines were incredibly important. Pay close, close, close attention to the timelines, the timelines, the timelines. And that got me to thinking, and I really do believe that there are a couple of, I think all of this is a Cody/Robin manipulation. I think they are completely married. I think they are completely a couple. I think they're doing exactly what they have always done since the beginning of time. They work in collusion with each other to manipulate everyone else to get whatever it is that they want and or need at the expense of everyone else. So everybody else picks up the tab. The other thing that was important too is I was watching. I'm going to have to do this in multiple parts, but also with Mary, I'll do that on the next one.
Okay, we'll jump right to part 2. 1 second.
Hey, this is part 2. He was much more bloated in his meeting with Mary than he was to Janelle when he was at Janelle's or Christine's. He was much more bloated and kind of stuffed into his clothes. I think that that indicates at least a minimum 6 weeks delay, probably more like 2 to 3 months delay between the two. The other thing I thought of too was, we had been talking about yet another YouTuber who had talked about how he had taken an equity mortgage out on the new chateau, the new crap palace, and when he did that, he probably did that in part, at least in part. he probably did that to try to pay off Mary. That's what I think. I think that's the reason why he could not hardly contain his rage. And he was very rageful and was wanting to leave. He wasn't willing to pay for a restaurant for her because she had already gotten too much of his money and also probably TLC's money because he thinks that's all the same. Okay, there will be a part 3. Talk to you in a minute.
All right, part 3.
Okay, here's part 3 with Anne. The other piece was, I think that he thought he had it going on when he was going to meet up with Janelle. I think that he love bombed her, and I think that it would have worked. I don't think that he did take her back to the room. I think that they didn't because I think all of this love bombing stuff was supposed to get her in line with what he wanted to do against Mary. And I think that that's what they've done all along. And I think that's why no one trusts Mary, no one trusts Janelle, and there's only limited amount of trust for Christine. I think the only part that anybody trusts Christine with is their kids. I think that's it. Other than that, everybody shuts down and doesn't really speak to one another about anything that matters. Okay, I think that's it. I'll see y'all in the comment section. Bye.
Awesome job, man. I agree. I think that at the end of the day, we find ourselves in a situation where uh, best first snap analysis is that they tried to present that they had all lived as one big family. The truth of it is that they essentially lived as 3 separate families in the beginning, and then 4 separate families once Robin entered into the household. They weren't united or working together. It's not part of who they were, because if that were the case, it would have been so easy for them to be so fractured. They would have had relationships with one another, but they've never had relationships with each other. It's not built into them to have those relationships. So, from that respect, I think it's a fair assessment to say that, each wife had their own thing that they were relied on for, and beyond that thing, they weren't really respected or sought after. Their opinions didn't matter. So I think that that is a very keen observation. But thank you so much, Anne. We had some super chats come through, and I just want to make sure I read those acknowledgments. We had Julianne Kinkle with the 4.99 super chat. Cody big stack of clothes, so he can say, oh, okay, we read this one. Basically, say he's gonna write off clothes for he gonna write the clothes off on his taxes and get it all and mess around and get audited and lose everything. That'd be terrible. Would it be that's how they got Capone's ass. And I know that's said a lot, but that's how they got Capone's ass. Like, that dude was blowing people up. He was, gunning people down. He was all kinds of terrible. Capone was wild. He was a wildcat. And then, the feds couldn't get him on none of that crazy stuff. The booze running, none of that. They got him on taxes. And that just showed the power of the IRS. That's why I don't play with them. I don't play with Uncle Sam and his money, because Uncle Sam is the pimp. Okay. And he want all his. Uncle Sam want all his money. He even dressed like a pimp, like with his little striped pants, his big top hat. Like Uncle Sam ain't no joke, right? A mob don't play with Sam. He take the mob down behind his money. And so yeah, I mean, I don't play with them taxes. I get scared. If they be like, if I be like, oh, okay, I got deductions, and they be like, yeah, we not gonna count them a deduction. Okay, all right. I ain't gonna argue. I think I deserve it, but okay. you know, whatever you say, boss. I don't play with the tax man. So yeah, that's some sketchy shit. I believe you though. I'm with you. Let me get a little something. Then we had, okay, then we had Annie and with the $5 super chat said, do you think Cody would go for custody of Saul and Ari if/when, again, if/when he and Robin divorced, not because he wants to be a dad, but out of spite. I think he'll go for custody, not because he wants to be a dad, possibly out of spite, but definitely so he don't have to pay child support, especially if Christine actually got a chance to ring his bell during this time with Truly. If Christine rung his bell a little bit with the child support stuff, my man might be, and that's something like everybody's saying that he took that 750 out to pay Mary. He took that 750 out because he wants to flat rate Christine. Just cut her a check, like, all right, we're done. Don't call me no more. I'm gonna pay you all your money up front. Foolish, but I can see that. I can see him doing that. I'll put it this way. I see him doing that before he pays Mary a dime. See, I got a theory. And I'm gonna put it in a video. Cause why he didn't pay Mary that money, I'm gonna put that in a video. Check that out. I'm gonna put it in a video. Cause I think that, there's a reason why. There's a logic to why he wouldn't give Mary that money. All right. But thank you so much, Annie. But Annie, appreciate you. Appreciate you, Annie. Then we have unlimited lipstick in the house with the $6.99 super chat. Said family fund financial audit needed. OG3 is owed money from the sale of that damn McMansion. Show the receipts. Cody and Robin are snakes. That's why I say with that whole thing about like we're gonna sell the land out from underneath Mary, that would have been the stupidest shit he ever could have did. I know Cody like talking stuff and saying wild shit just off the top of his head. As Danny said that, Suki shared that, Cody might be neurodivergent. Basically, they're saying like a lot of times they associate that with autism. For those that don't know, there's a spectrum of autism. It's not, you know, uh, just everybody raining. Like it's a spectrum. That's why they call it a spectrum. So depending on where you fall in the spectrum, you could be a high functioning autistic person. And so even if that's the case, I'm sure he understood that if he pressed it too hard, if he got a good run at him and they went to court over anything, those books might come up. That bookkeeping question might be that's discovery. That's discovery. And of course his lawyers can put in a motion to exclude, but I don't know. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't risk it if I was him. You know what I mean? We talk about taxes. There's a couple things I wouldn't play with. Like I would not if I was them sitting on top of that receipts for that family fund, I would not play with that shit at all. I'm like, here you go, Robin, or here you go, Mary, here you go, Janelle. Thank you very much. Thanks for playing. Come again, and let that be that. But thank you so much for listening. We had Jenny Jet in the house with $4.99 super chat. Said, "Hey, my take on reality fam, what's up? What's up? If Robin were to write a book, junk journaling, how I still can't let it go, life after polygamy with Cody and Robin Brown by Robin Brown, aka She-Ra. Would you buy that book? Would you read it? Would you read it? Uh, see, I'm torn. Like, part of me, would I personally want to read it? No. Would I read it for the channel? Yeah, I guess maybe. But I would read. I would definitely throw myself on the sword, so nobody else would have to do it for sure. For sure. Don't bother getting a book. I'm gonna give you the whole look down. I'm gonna tell you what it is, and then most likely is, can you believe anything they write? Because that's part of getting a book and having a tell all. If you're not a credible source, your tell all nothing is worthless. But thank you so much, Jenny. All right. We had Julian Kinkle with the $1.99 super chat. Said Cody wanted a backdoor deal with Janelle after sorry. Cody wanted a backdoor deal with Janelle after the sorry. Yeah, right. He's like, come on, Janelle, let's get back to that hotel, motel, that motel, motel, so I can get that backdoor deal rolling. You know what I like. On it. And Robin sitting there. He's had wives reject him. Some wives he wants to show affection, and he won't let them show affection the way he would. That's ridiculous. If you want a relationship to work, you got to do whatever your man say, including the backdoor deals. All right, Julie. He's like, I missed you. I missed you, baby. All right, then we had Ty that said, I want to see with a forensic account ASAP. I watched that with my pen, paper, and calculator. Yeah, if they ever came out with one of those, thank you so much, Ty. If they ever came out with an episode where they did that, first, thank you. First of all, I don't think that they would do it because it would require too much courage, and they would have to step outside of themselves. Secondly, I would love to watch it. That's what the fans want, baby. TLC interns get on that shit. That's what the fans want. We want an accounting. We want somebody to explain the books in depth, in detail. But if you really think about it, they don't even explain to you. Like we know that they sold their house. We know that Mary and Janelle gave all their money to the family fund so that Cody could buy the new mansion. What we don't know is what the price tag was. We don't know exactly how much they gave them to go towards the house, how much they gave to go towards County Pass. And that's a secret held by all of them because they're all keeping secrets from us. And that's what my biggest chief complaint this whole time is that they're hiding back a lot of this stuff. But what is this? Pete said, I guess you can't go by the internet. I was thinking I could be on the spectrum because I read the same books over and over and the same songs. Yeah, yeah. One thing you don't do is get a diagnosis from the internet because everything is like, you'll be scared as hell. Oh goodness, I got all kinds of diseases and I'm infirmed in all kinds of ways. They're like, no, you just got a stomach ache. Just lay off the garlic. Oh, I got the big C. Like, no, you just gotta lay off the garlic. You just gas. I'm having a heart attack, no, you just gotta go have a good, go to the bathroom, you'll be fine. So yeah. But guys, that is the show. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. Uh, thanks for coming through. And before we go, I want to make sure we acknowledge. Oh, there was one person who left an anonymous message, and unfortunately, when they left the message, they were cut off. Only part of the message that I got that was clear was they said that the NDA that Robin insisted that they sign was most likely crafted from ChatGPT. Like she went in there with a NDA, ChatGPT NDA, try to get these ladies to sign it because it doesn't make sense. And I think that touched on some things that I wanted to talk about tomorrow in my video. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. We did have one person, Lizzie B, gifted one my take on reality membership. So make sure you guys check out if you get that membership. Come on through on Saturday. We have an open panel. We allow the members to get up and everybody can talk, and we have a whole open discussion open forum about everything. We talk about everything, not just sister wives. We talk about a whole bunch of stuff. We talk about sister wives too, um, but we talk about a lot of things in addition to that as well. So make sure you come through and enjoy yourselves. All right. But let me. Where is my? Oh, here we go. I'm like, what the hell? I'm having all kinds of problems, y'all. This is ridiculous. But thank you so much, Lizzie B. Let me give you a little something. All right. Before we go, I want to make sure I acknowledge the folks who called in and left messages. If you guys are interested in leaving a message, you're more than welcome to. It's at speakpipe.com/my take on reality. Uh, love to have you guys leave some messages so we can talk about it. But tonight we had Bronze Empress, we had UK Michelle, we had a new caller, G called in, we had Candace, we had Sharice, Rose, we had a couple from Anonymous. We had Angie, Tanya Carter, Mrs. Carter in the house, Mary. We had Danny Towns calling, leaving that professional message. Then we had Jenny calling, left another professional message. And of course, Ann. Thank you guys so much. You did an awesome job. And of course, the anonymous person, I want to try to get you in there as well. Leave another message. Keep them coming. That was an excellent point, ChatGPT. And thanks to the B about the speak pipe information or link. So you're more than welcome to leave that. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I want to make sure I acknowledge the folks who left super chats as well. We had Lizzie B gifted a My Take on Reality membership. We had Ty. We had Julianne Tinkle. We had Jenny Jet. We also had Unlimited Lipstick in the house. Annie Banani in the house. We had Megatron. Of course, Megatron was in there dropping blows from the fourth rows from up top, bringing it down the ceiling. Now you and us sights, your ass, girl. You better watch it. You had Judy Paris Scholar as well coming through. Perfume are life. Perfumes are life. Thank you so much. Then we had Danny Towns come through. We had Cindy from Oz in the house. We had Local Arts Witch. All right, Law is in the house from our neighbor from up north. And then we had Melissa Sweetster. Appreciate you guys. And also, as always, I like to thank the Mega Mod Squad for holding us down. Let me give you all a little something. Well, Mega Mod Squad is Lizzie B, Caramel Cuties, and Brittany Not Brittany. Let me give you all a little something. All right. I want to thank everybody for joining us. I know it was like about 3.5 hours. We had all kinds of technical problems. We made it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I appreciate it. Keep an eye out for the videos. I'll be releasing videos all weekend. And we'll have videos that will roll into next week about tell-all, as well as about some of the things that I wanted to talk about this week that I couldn't get to. So keep an eye out for it. The video I'm dropping tomorrow is going to be about how Cody and Robin are killing the Sister Wife franchise. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate it. That's my take. I'm James. And this has been my take on reality. And I'm